The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your SuperChats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
Oh my God, does this team suck? Wow, there's bad, and then there's what the Jets just did against the Jacksonville Jaguars for 60 minutes. What a joke. That was about as bad of a defensive performance by the New York Jets that we might ever see. I mean, this was never a game. This felt like a carbon copy of the Miami debacle from last week. Only the onslaught in the second half didn't stop. 48-20, the final score. And let's be real, the Jaguars could have named a score today. The Jet defense was incapable of getting a stop the entire game. I mean, the Jacksonville Jaguars could have scored whenever they wanted. In the first half, they scored on 5 of their 6 possessions. Trevor Lawrence had 200 passing yards and 48 rushing yards and 4 total touchdowns at halftime. It was 31-10 at halftime. It was completely uncompetitive by the Jet defense. There are issues on this team from a talent standpoint. They're playing a bunch of backups. They're playing a bunch of guys that don't belong to be on an NFL roster. I understand all that. But what is the excuse for the 2 starting linebackers on this team, the 2 edge rushers on this team who are first-round picks, the guys in the secondary that they chose to keep or they chose to pay in the case of Brandon Stevens? This was an unmitigated disaster from top to bottom defensively. And yes, we will get to the offense. We will get to Brady Cook and his debut and all that. But wow, if Steve Wilks is somehow retained by Aaron Glenn, we are not a serious organization, and Aaron Glenn will have no chance to succeed as an NFL head coach if he retains this defensive coordinator. Steve Wilks is horrible. His schemes are archaic. There are no adjustments. Every single game, the Jets go in with a schematic disadvantage. Soft zone, no pressure up front, and they make it far too easy. And anytime they face a bright offensive coach, they get exposed. And they really have been exposed no matter who the coach is on the other sideline that they're playing all year. What a pathetic performance by the Jets defense. And again, the first drive of the game told you all you needed to know. The Jaguars immediately go down the field, 9 plays, 72 yards, like it's nothing. They didn't have 1 third down on the drive because they didn't have to. 0 pressure on Lawrence the entire game. I mean, this was as bad of a performance by a Jet defense we will ever see. And unlike the 2020 year or even Robert Saleh's first year, while there is certainly a lack of talent on this unit, it is not an excuse for the Jets to be dominated the way they were in this game. Every single game, it's the same thing from this defense. 4-3, too high, and no adjustments. It's a high school level defense that any smart team or even dumb teams will pick apart. I mean, the final score doesn't even do it justice. It was 38-13 at one point in this one. And then the Jets tacked on a garbage time score late with Isaiah Davis making a nice play, running for a touchdown. This was a joke. Again, I have major concerns with this head coach. How could you not? I understand they lack talent. I understand that in the grand scheme of things, losing today is better, but you don't want to lose like this. You don't want to get embarrassed, right? The line was 14 points. They weren't even close to that. It was 48-20. 48-20. That is pathetic. Losing by 28 points to the Jaguars? Come on. Has the head coach try and sell us on this team showing improvement? Where's the improvement? Right? I'll buy your improvement when you win a couple games, you look a little more competent. But the last 2 weeks, the Jets no-showed against a division opponent at home. And then today, you at least thought they'd show some sort of fight, some sort of spunk, some sort of bounce backs just for pride purposes. And they get their doors blown off 48-20. And again, this was one of those name your score type of games, because if the Jaguars really wanted to, they could have scored more than 48. They only scored 7 in the fourth quarter. They took their foot off the gas. This was such a joke. It's so embarrassing. Again, Steve Wilks should not have a job. And I know Aaron Glenn is likely not losing his, but man, he has done a terrible job this season. Can we be honest about that, Jet fans? He's not going anywhere. And if you're a Jet fan, you should root for Aaron Glenn to improve as a head coach. But man, the coaching on this team is really, really poor outside of the special teams coordinator. Chris Banjo's great. Everyone else, it's been terrible. If we're being honest, if you're building a case for Glenn to be one and done, he should be, he won't be. Like, that's how bad it has been for a lot of this year. Their wins this year are against 3 backup quarterbacks. And if you want to say Cousins is not your typical backup, that's fine. But their other 2 wins were against bad quarterbacks. One of them being Dylan Gabriel, who's a bad quarterback on a bad team and is not even starting for that team currently. It's a mess, man. And again, in the grand scheme of things, losing, I believe, is better for the Jets than winning one of these games. But it's how it looks that's alarming. You don't want to be embarrassed. They've been embarrassed now 2 straight weeks. And again, we know the personnel on defense is not very good. We all understand what we're looking at. But you know what? They paid Jamie and Sherwood. He stinks. He can't play. Quincy Williams, he stinks. He can't play. Brandon Stevens today was horrible. Isaiah Williams, horrible. They brought him back. Tony Adams, he stinks. They brought him back. Michael Clemens, he stinks. They brought him back. A lot of the personnel, the current administration welcomed back or made additions to bring them in. And that to me is concerning. And again, it was the right idea to hire a former head coach on this staff, right? I understood the Steve Wilks hire, but you could see why this guy's been one and done in his last 4 jobs. It is a predictable, archaic defensive scheme. The guys on SNY were talking about it afterwards. We've had this conversation all year. It's the same thing over and over again. 4-3, too high, every play. It is a defense that is less complex than some of the schemes and stuff you see in high school. Seriously. I mean, the Jets allowed 31 points in the first half. And again, we'll get to Brady Cook now. I don't think Brady Cook was absolutely horrible today. He played well enough where he should definitely start against the Saints. I don't need to see Justin Fields ever play for this team again. Watching him just sit there on the sideline when they showed him bothered me to no end. Like, Brady Cook, I think, played well enough where he should at least get the chance to start the Saints game. Why not? Right? Of the interceptions he threw today, the last one, Arian Smith's got to come back to the ball and fight for it, man. The other 2, they were bad. Especially the one in the end zone. That was horrendous. But Brady Cook today, right? He at least at times stood in there and tried to make some plays downfield. He's a UDFA making his first career start. But you don't even give him a chance when you go out there in this game and you immediately put yourself behind the 8 ball the way the Jets did in this game. Right? He stepped into a 21-0 hole last week, which was an impossible spot. And today, before you can even blink, you're down in this game 14-0. And he actually led a nice touchdown drive to get the Jets back in the game at 14-7. And what does the defense do? Immediately gives up another touchdown. It's 21-7. And then that's really all she wrote. You're not coming back down 14 points with a UDFA at quarterback with the lack of weapons the Jets still have. It's not going to happen. So they didn't exactly give him a chance today because the defense no-showed. 48 points they allowed today. Most allowed in the game since 2021 against the Patriots. Just a joke, man. A joke. And again, the best part about today is that there are now only 3 games left in this miserable Jets season. And we'll have the entire offseason to debate what the plan is at quarterback. Do they trade up? Do they stick and pick? Is it Fernando Mendoza? Is it Dante Moore? Is it a bridge quarterback, right? But big picture, how could anyone have a lot of confidence in this coaching staff and especially this head coach? And he's not going to get fired. So there's no point in saying he should be fired, Jake. Well, he's not going to be fired. But some of these performances this year have absolutely justified a change if Woody Johnson actually wanted to do it, but he won't do it. He's not going to admit a mistake, right? And he allowed Aaron Glenn and Darren Muji to make those deals at the deadline. They sold him on this plan to get the quarterback and get it all figured out. And unfortunately, they might actually get the quarterback figured out. But are we going to know? Right? It could be a Sam Darnold situation all over again, where they actually picked the right player, but they failed him with the infrastructure that he walked into, whether that be the coaching or certainly the roster. So that's the big concern too. Again, when you lose like this, it's not just personnel. It's not, right? Wasn't the big appeal for Aaron Glenn? Oh, they're playing hard for him, right? If I say to you, what does this head coach do really well? What can you tell me? Even if you're the biggest Aaron Glenn believer out there, which I find hard to believe you could believe in him. You could like him and root for him. You're a Jet fan. I get it. I'm rooting for him as well. But if we're being objective here, people, what does this head coach do well? What is his bread and butter? He's supposed to be a defensive expert. His defense sucks. They make no adjustments. They routinely get punked and out-schemed by other teams weekly. He hired Steve Wilks and has allowed Steve Wilks to coordinate a defense that once again has 0 interceptions on the year. They finally got a takeaway when it didn't matter, when they were down, 48-20 when they forced that fumble. I mean, it's a joke. What does the head coach do well? What does Aaron Glenn do well that should instill confidence in us as Jet fans that despite this awful season, somehow they'll get on the right track and they'll be better off next year? They play hard for him, Jake, right? Like, okay, great. Now explain the last 2 weeks. They don't play hard for him. They just played some bad teams, right? They played a streaky Falcons team. They narrowly won. They had a great special teams performance that day to help steal a win. Nick Folk in a miracle kick because he's Nick Folk. He's great. Like, oh, they play hard for him. Great. They didn't get their doors blown off by the Ravens. Wonderful. Oh, they were in the game for a half against New England in primetime. Great. Again, he doesn't call the plays on defense. He's not an offensive guy. And where are the improvements we're seeing from players on this team, especially defensive players? What defensive players on this team have improved year over year or have gotten better? I can think of one, Juwan Briggs. That's it. Where's Will McDonald? Where's Jermaine Johnson? Jermaine, you almost give a little bit of a pass because of the fact he's coming off the Achilles. But where's Will McDonald? Remember, it's coaching, man. It's coaching. And Will McDonald has 7 sacks all season, and 4 of them came in one game. He's quiet most games. He was quiet for most of today. Drew 1 holding penalty. I'm so discouraged with the coaching on this team. And again, Steve Wilks should not be the DC after 3 more games. So those saying fire him now, no, don't fire him now. Let him coordinate the defense 3 more times so at least we could benefit with a higher pick. Luck, who knows if they even get a pick that's high enough to even get the quarterback they want. Because if you watch the Raiders, God, are they awful. Are they winning another game? And if they decide they want the quarterback the Jets want, I don't care what you're offering them. They're probably going to say thanks, but no thanks. So who knows, man? Giants play the Raiders in 2 weeks. That game could be everything for the draft pick situation that we're all going to be diving into here. Here's your look at the draft order post 1 o'clock games here. Again, this is post 1 o'clock, so this will update. Phillip Rivers, who is fat as hell, is playing quarterback for the Colts right now. Cool story, but go Seahawks today because we need that pick to be as high as possible. Jets right now currently picking 5th, but obviously this will change based on the late window results. But again, I just don't know how we could sit here and feel great about this team regardless of where they're picking, because how could you have a whole lot of faith in the guy leading the ship, right? Aaron Glenn's not going to get fired. Again, he's not going to. But what exactly does he do well as a head coach? Because the argument a few weeks ago was they were playing hard for him, and they were showing some improvement. There's no doubt. But they have completely regressed these last 2 games against 2 teams that, while they're better than the Jets, it shouldn't look like this. 34-10 to the Dolphins last week and 48-20 to the Jaguars today. Incredibly discouraging if you're a fan of this team. There's no other way around it. And we could sit here and we could try and come up with every excuse about the lack of personnel, and we understand there's a talent issue on this team. But there's bigger issues than just the talent, bigger issues than just the quarterback. And you're being naive if you're not seeing the same thing any real Jet fan is seeing. There are fundamental coaching issues on this team. These last 2 weeks, the way they've lost, just completely unacceptable. And I don't care what pick they have or who the quarterback is. As long as you have bad coaching, it's really tough to overcome that. It just is. It just is. And this playoff drough's now at 15 years. And are there any signs it's ending soon? Is it ending with a rookie quarterback next year? It's just hard to believe. It really is. Meanwhile, here are the Jacksonville Jaguars with their first-year coach. They got 10 wins and counting. Meanwhile, you look at the Chicago Bears, right? By the way, they hired the Lions offensive coach, and their defense leads the NFL in takeaways. And like a sick twist, the Jets hire the Lions defensive coach. They don't have an interception yet this season. They have 2 defensive takeaways the entire year. And the Bears, who hired the offensive guy, actually lead the NFL in takeaways. You can't make it up. Oh, it's just sickening. Comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line. Make sure you enter the raffle Tuesday morning. We're going to give away some sweet prizes to some Asmaniacs who support the show. A signed Darrelle Revis football is our top prize, and a Wayne Corbett autographed jersey. And last but certainly not least, a signed photo by Hall of Famer LaDainian Tomlinson. So those are the 3 prizes. And I'll tell you what, since we're all down in the dumps, I have a second Wayne Corbett autographed jersey that we're going to raffle away at the end of the show. So send in a super chat. $5 or higher will get you 1 raffle ticket. $10 will get you 2. $20 will get you 5, so on and so forth. And then if you gift the membership for however many memberships you gift, we'll enter you in the Asmaniac raffle for a Corbett jersey at the end of the show, and you qualify for the weekly prizes as well. Big thank you to everyone who's still tuning in to a daily YouTube show about a football team that has missed the playoffs 15 years in a row and now currently sits with an astonishing record of 3-11. With that, let's listen in to Mr. Accountability. Here is the head coach of the New York Jets, who was at the podium talking about another spectacular performance by his team. Here is Aaron Glenn.
All right, when it comes to injuries, TA had us growing, somewhat the same growing that he had before. So we'll see how that is. Isaiah has a knee, and then Eric Watts, this probably a concussion. So he'll be in the protocol when it comes to that. I think that was all of the injuries. When it comes to this game, very disappointing on a number of different levels. When you give up that many points, that's tough. It doesn't allow our quarterback to actually get in the groove. It doesn't allow our offense to get in the groove, especially getting down 21 early in the game. Doesn't allow our offense to get in the groove and to get going. And obviously our offense didn't play, up to par either. So there was issues across the board. I thought a special team showed up. Obviously we got the one that was called back, and we had a young player that actually was blocking out of bounds. That's what they were saying, allegedly. So we have to look at that and see exactly how that went. I thought Brady did some good things, but again, he was in a bad situation. We had to probably put the ball up in the air more than we wanted him to. And I would say some of those throws, he would say that's on him. And then also, man, we have to make sure we protect him. And I'm not just talking about protection as far as dropping back, but protection as far as making sure we do the things that we have to do to make sure that he can operate the offense in a timely manner. But again, very disappointing, very disappointing. Again, I'm always looking myself first. But this was tough. This was tough. So any questions?
Aaron, how do you explain 2 quarterback hits and no sacks on Trevor Lawrence?
It's hard to explain, to be honest with you. Especially knowing that, he's a guy that's going to hold the ball, and he's going to try to play hero ball for the most part. Not a bad part of him. That's just who he is. And he's made a lot of plays. And when he do that, like he did today, we have to do a better job of getting to the quarterback and making sure we get hits on the quarterback, and we did not do that today. So it's really hard to explain that, and that's part of the reason I'm somewhat pissed at that, and we got to get better at that.
I mean, you're a defensive guy, and obviously you haven't looked at the film, but they scored 8 out of the first 9 drives.
Yes, they did.
I mean, is there an adjustment issue on the part of?
There's a number of issues that we have to end up looking at, and some of that you don't have to look at the film. It's just an area that we have to improve on, and that's all of us. That's every position on defense. We have to look at it and see exactly where are our mishaps at, where are our downfalls at. And I know we had some rookies playing, but that's no excuse. I know we had another corner out there playing, his first time starting for us. That's no excuse. I'm talking about Stiggers. Still, these guys all know, the plan and how we need to go out and operate. So, and I'm not putting all the blame on players either. There's a lot of blame that goes around when you put up that many points on the team, and it's not good. It's not good.
You think? When does this improvement happen that you've been talking about all year, right? And by the way, for those saying, oh, well, the defense showed improvement this year after the Sauce and Quinnen trades, no, it hasn't. No, it hasn't. The Jets EPA is actually now worse, and it was worse before this game. They were 27th in EPA. So those saying, well, Glenn gets credit because the defense has played well since those trades. No, it hasn't. Defense has been horrible now, and these last 2 games have been pathetic. It's getting worse. It's getting worse, not better. Terrible. Every week we hear from the head coach, they got to be better, they got to improve. It never improves. It never gets better.
With 48 points, not good.
Will you consider taking over the play calling on defense?
I know the question is going to be asked, but listen, I brought Wilkes in for a reason, and listen, I want him to run his system. We have 3 games left. All right, 3 games left for our guys to go out there and play. And I will tell you this: it's right now. It's not about the X's and O's, across the board. It's about the character of the men on this team, and that's what I'm evaluating.
It's also about the X's and O's. You run a high school level schematic defense. Guys who study defense, who played in the league, they highlight it. They point it out. Every team in the league knows what you run. 4-3, too high, every play. You're in man coverage. You're exposed all the time. We do the film reviews every week. It is the same nonsense. Please, for the love of God, do not tell us it's not about the X's and O's, because it is. It's a big part of it. And again, if you're going to be a defensive coach in 2025, you better be a brilliant defensive strategist, because the league is all about having offensive guys. You want to see a brilliant defensive strategist? Look at the Houston Texans with DeMeco Ryans. Right? Like, if you're going to be a defensive guy in 2025, you better take over the defense. It's your unit. And if you're going to let Wilkes get 3 more games, great, but he better not get any more games after that. There better be major wholesale changes there, because let's be honest, if Glenn refuses to make changes there, then he's already lost and we have no chance next year. And we're just playing out the string for 2026 before it even begins, because they're never winning anything with this defensive coach if he remains the DC. Glenn better understand that and recognize that, because it is about the X's and O's. It's a big part of it. And the players, the part of the reason they're checked out too is because they know their coach is not putting them in the best position to have any success. And a lot of these guys were with the previous staff where they were actually properly coached. You could say whatever you want about Robert Saleh. The guy could coach defense. His staff coached defense. We saw player development on that side of the ball. We've seen none of that besides maybe Jawan Briggs on this team. It's terrible. It's unacceptable.
And I'll tell you what, I thought some of our guys really gave it up, on that field today. We really pushed it and really continued playing no matter what the situation was. And I'm proud of those guys for that, and I want to make sure I look at the tape and see, did everybody do that? And then also evaluating the coaches also, just like I always do, starting myself, coaches, and the players on evaluations.
You said it's hard for Brady in that situation. Obviously,
Yeah.
What do you tell him after this game?
I mean, you got to keep pushing, and these things happen. And listen, sometimes you want to see a quarterback put in this situation to see how he reacts and how he can come back. I thought last week with him not getting the reps was tough, and then this week again seeing exactly how he reacted. I thought he did some good things trying to get us back as close as he could in that game. So, but it's just still tough for a rookie in that situation, especially that defense who's playing fairly well. It's tough for him.
Quincy had some issues, Quincy Williams in pass coverage.
Yeah.
It seemed like they kept going there. Is there something you could have done or?
Well, it wasn't just Quincy. It was a number of guys, so I'm not going to sit here and say it was all on Quincy. Man, you look at his past numbers, man, it had I think he threw 5 touchdowns, had over 330 yards. So I'm not about to sit here and just single one person out. I think it was a number of guys that had some issues.
Yeah, but Quincy was a big part of it. Let's not pretend like he wasn't. Again, we understand this defense has some second and third stringers on it. Quincy's not one of them. Sherwood's not one of them. Stevens is not one of them. McDonald, Jermaine, Harrison Phillips. Does anyone ever make a play on this defense? No.
And also, we got to look at ourselves as coaches, too. I mean, did we put them in the right position to go out there and make plays? So, again, I would never just say this is a one-person thing. I won't say this is just this is all of us. And we got to make sure that we look at ourselves and fix those issues.
I know it was early, but when on the Isaiah touchdown that's returned, it's 21-14 if that
Absolutely.
is there. How difficult was that? How bad was the spot with there? I know you didn't see the play, but
Listen, it's always difficult when you have a play of that magnitude happen because those returns gives a jolt to the whole team, and it's a huge momentum shift at that time. And once we got the penalty, our guys they were happy. But then again, I knew our guys, that was going to be, just a shot for our guys to try to ramp it back up and get ready to go. But man, they did everything they could to try to. I would say that, and it just didn't work out well for us. But again, I thought our special teams did a hell of a job of trying to create. Ology said they weren't going to let us have a kick return at all. Smart on their part. But man, I'm just thinking about this deal overall, and we have to get better. We have to get a lot better, offense, defense, and special teams.
There was a stretch over October, November, where even if the wins weren't coming, you were happy with progress. You saw improvement.
Yeah.
Last 2 weeks, has this been a step back these last 2 weeks?
Yeah, it has been. Because you just don't give up that many points and lose by that margin and say that it's not. I'm not going to BS any of you guys and nobody else, But again, we have to make sure that we can fix that. Again, I'm evaluating everything. I'm evaluating the schematics. I'm evaluating the X's and the O's. I'm evaluating the players, the character of this team. And, man, we have to figure something out. Because I do know this. There were a number of guys that really gave it to us this game. And I know that because I could see how tired they were. I could see how they actually played in the game. We just have to get better. We can't lose games like that. It's unacceptable.
Well, you accept it because it continues to happen. Right? I thought we were past the blowouts. Right? We lauded the Jets because they hadn't been blown out since the Cowboys game. And then the last 2 weeks have now happened. Here's a question. Who's evaluating the head coach? Glenn's doing all the evaluating. Who's evaluating the head coach? Because if we're being honest, has the head coach done a good job this year? Right? The answer is no. And he's probably not going to get fired. And I'm not sitting here saying he's got to be fired because I think it's wasted energy at this point. But Aaron Glenn needs to learn because he's been horrible this year. He really has been. Again, someone please tell me what Aaron Glenn does well as a head coach. And it's not that they lost today. It's how they're losing is alarming because it doesn't matter who the quarterback is next year. It doesn't matter who they add to the defense. Ultimately, you can't win if your head coach is incompetent. And I hope that this guy improves because, again, what does he do really well now? What's his calling card? He doesn't call plays on defense. He's not an offensive guy. Oh, but Jake, they play hard for him. No, they don't. Or if they do, they certainly haven't shown it the last 2 games. If that's playing hard.
Follow on that theme, what was your message to them after this game?
As far as
After when you get up,
yeah.
What do you say?
No, we can't just pack. No, and we don't have men that's like that, So, we have to come back on Monday and look at it. We got to eat it, and we got to move on. And again, it's not just about the X and O. It's about the character of the team. Like which guy's going to lay it on the line and continue to play. Which coach is going to lay it on the line and continue to make sure we put our players in the right position. Make sure how am I going to lay it on the line and make sure that I can get us all moving in the same direction. So those are things that I talk to the players about, and they know that. So This is a tough one. This is a tough one. But all I know this, you can't just sit back and just be like, okay, yeah, no, we got 3 games. We got 3 games to say exactly how we're going to finish the season out. And that's all I'm worried about right now.
Thanks, everybody. I'm already showering. Look well here.
Wonderful. What a moment in time. Jets football. You know, the Jets were actually tanking, right? Like trying to lose on purpose. Well, then we can explain what happened today. But what's sad is we know players don't tank, coaches don't tank. So the Jets tried to put their best foot forward today, and it culminated with allowing 31 points in the first half, allowing Jacksonville to score on 8 of their first 9 drives in this game. They could have scored more today if they wanted to. Quincy Williams said that he has nothing positive to say, so he's not speaking with the media. I mean, he should fire himself. He was so bad today. The entire linebacking core for the Jets needs to just be disintegrated. Oh, it's so bad. It's so bad. And again, it's not that they lost, right? It's not even that they lost last week to Miami. How they're losing is alarming, and it is the sign of a team that is poorly coached. Because if you're properly coached, these things don't happen. They don't. We understand there's a talent void for the Jets in a lot of key areas on defense. We get that. They're not playing competitive football. That's unacceptable. And if anyone's trying to justify it or just trying to blame the talent, you're not calling it how it is. You're not. This head coach should concern everyone. And again, the first big decision he will be faced with after the regular season concludes is Steve Wilks. And there's no way you could justify allowing Steve Wilks to return as the defensive coordinator. Go out and hire a young, modern DC or hire someone who is a proven defensive coordinator. Maybe the Browns blow up their coaching staff and it's Jim Schwartz. Someone like that, or someone that deserves their first chance to be a DC, like Jim Leonard from the Broncos, who I know this Jet fan base would love. Because it can't be Wilks. And again, Aaron Glenn is not going to get fired, so we have to hope that he improves as a head coach. But I am very concerned about him going forward, because I have seen nothing in year one that tells me he's going to be a good NFL head coach. We like him as a person. I think he's a good dude. We like the fact he's a former Jet. But what exactly does he do well? And that is something that I cannot point to anything. He hired a great special teams coordinator in Chris Banjo. He's been the best coach on the staff. But what does Aaron Glenn do well as a head coach? It's concerning. We'll get to your calls coming up. Some super chats here. We are going to give away a signed Wayne Corbett jersey at the end of today's stream. So make sure you enter the raffle by gifting a membership or sending in a $5. That's right. We're counting $5 super chats for one raffle ticket each for this show and some shows going forward the rest of the year. Again, thanks to everyone who tunes in. Please hit the like button. And if you haven't hit the subscribe button yet, it goes a long way towards helping this channel continue to grow. We got some big things in the offseason, as we always do as Jet fans. We'll be broadcasting our show for the first time from the Senior Bowl in late January, so that's coming. We have some big things planned for the Combine, Super Bowl week before that. So stay with us every step of the way. We'll be here talking about the Jets, win or lose, and usually we win the offseason. So at least we have that, I suppose, to look forward to coming up. Some super chats now. Tyrone starts it off. He's in the raffle for 2. Thanks, Tyrone, for supporting the show. He says the defense is horrible. Cook looked good at times, but too early to judge him playing from behind. He may be a good number 2 for next year. On to the draft. Look, at Brady Cook as the number 3 quarterback next year, I think you could live with that. I don't think he's been terrible. I want to see some more starts from Cook. There's no reason to play anyone but him these final 3 games. It's not like he played so poorly today that you can't even play him next week. Like, you'd lose the locker room if you played him again. I thought Brady Cook was okay. Again, he's in a big hole for the second week in a row. He made some bad decisions, right? The interceptions he threw, 2 of them were horrible. The one in the end zone was brutal. But I have no problem letting him start against the Saints next week. And the Jets, let's be real, they got to lose that game. Given the Tankathon situation, the Jets got to lose that game. The Omega Man says, conspiracy theory, the Jets defense is the tank. The vanilla BS can't be real. 2020 D is the 85 Bears compared to this. Well, the 2020 D legitimately had no players on it. And while this defense certainly is not that talented, what's the excuse for 2 first-round pass rushers, right? A legit defensive tackle and Harrison Phillips, who's been very good overall this year. Briggs has been solid. The linebackers have both either been paid or have been an all-pro before. Stevens has been paid as a corner. They're horrible. Absolutely horrible. And when you don't have an interception all year, that tells you all you need to know. So I'd love to be able to say, yeah, the Jets defense is the tank. It's a big conspiracy theory. They just suck. That's what's sad. Hennessy says, why are we surprised? This is what we have been all year. We shouldn't be surprised, but it's getting worse, Henny. And that's the problem. Right? Remember the moment the Jets turned the corner? Oh, the culture wins. And you want to buy into it because I don't want to sit here and be poo-pooing a win, right? As a Jet fan who talks about them every day, but those wins mean absolutely nothing when you followed up what they have followed them up with these last 2 games, right? Like you can't tell me you're improving and making progress and then no show against a division opponent last week when you're at home. And then today you follow that up with a performance where you allowed 31 points in the first half. Those wins meant nothing. They were better off in hindsight, obviously losing them, but we can't control that as fans. How we root has no impact. But if we could press a button and lose the Browns game or lose the Falcons game right now, if you're a smart Jet fan, you'd do it in a second. Given the difficulty the Jets might face, even with all their picks, still trying to get the quarterback they coveted. Because let's say the Raiders want Fernando Mendoza too, and they're ahead of the Jets. Are the Jets be able to get them? The Giants play the Raiders in 2 weeks. We need the Raiders to win that game. And I thought the Raiders, with Kenny Pickett, maybe there's some sort of spark they'd get today. Eagles have been struggling to score points. Maybe they'd hang around. And they completely got their doors blown off. The Raiders feel like they're the worst team in the NFL and a team that's going to lose out. And they're the team that scares me the most. Now, look, maybe the Jets end up with Dante Moore and he ends up being the best quarterback in this class. Who knows? We have a lot of different things that still could unfold here. And we don't even know if Moore is definitely coming out. I think he will, though. So this will change, and our perception on who the quarterbacks we like will change. But again, winning does nothing for the Jets at this point, but how they're losing, I think, is concerning. It's one thing to lose. It's another thing to be embarrassed the way they were today. Again, 48-20, and they allowed 31 points in the first half of a game. Unacceptable. Bino says, this was pitiful. Woody needs to assess this coach. He's brutal. This isn't all on Wilkes. I agree, but I don't think Aaron Glenn's getting fired, Bino. Do I think he's done a good job this year? Absolutely not. I think he's done really bad. I think he's been really poor. For some of the things we wanted to give him credit for that he was improving, they've completely regressed and gone right back to getting blown out. I was like a calling card for the Glenn truthers. Oh, well, Jake, since the Cowboys game, they've been in every game. And it's most teams are in every game. It's the NFL. You shouldn't be getting embarrassed. They've been getting embarrassed now. Nate writes in, I always have an overwhelming urge to throw up when I watch this team. Absolutely no positives besides the offensive line and the special teams. Oh, the pain. I feel your pain, man. You're right. Niall Newark Jets. We blew the number 1 pick and got Zach. The number 1 pick does matter. Muji is so great. Let's get rid of Rodgers and Adams for Fields. Fire Aaron Glenn. Look, the number 1 pick matters. Yes and no. Right? The best quarterback does not always come from being the first quarterback taken in that draft class. Sometimes it does, but I think the point that you have to understand with drafting a quarterback is so much of it comes down to where that quarterback is picked, what they're stepping into, who's the coach, who's the offensive coordinator, what's their offensive line look like, do they have weapons, do they have a running game? It's not just about having the number 1 pick. Again, do you trust Aaron Glenn to oversee the development of Fernando Mendoza or Dante Moore or Ty Simpson or Darian Mensah or Jaden Mayaba? I don't know how you could say yes. We don't have a choice, but if we're being honest, I don't know how you could say yes, right? That's just a fact. But here's what I mean by the first quarterback is not always the best. First quarterback drafted, look at the year and who the best quarterback ended up being. Not always the guy who was picked first. Yeah, sure. Sometimes Joe Burrow gets picked number 1. Okay. But Justin Herbert was also in that draft class. Not too shabby. 2019 had Kyler Murray, but Daniel Jones also has emerged from that draft class. The Baker year, you have Josh Allen and Lamar. Even last year, look at Jaden Daniels, right? If we're doing this now, Drake May would be the best quarterback in front of Jaden Daniels. So Like, things change. There's typically more than one good quarterback that comes from a draft class. But again, do you trust the Jets to identify the right one and then develop the right one? It's tough to sit here and be confident that you do. We don't have a choice, but it's tough to sit here and have confidence in that. We're presented by FanDuel Sportsbook. I haven't checked the line yet for next week's Jets-Saints game, but you know the Jets are going to be an underdog in the matchup, and they should be. And it behooves the Jets for them to lose that game. We'll get you a live line for Jets-Saints later this week. This one is from Abuska, who's been a channel member for 2 months. Says, Steve Wilkes has got to go. I can't take it anymore. What happened to accountability? Also, Isaiah got beyond Rob. Yeah, let me say this. I should have said it earlier. That was criminal what they did to Isaiah Williams. That penalty they called, that Gene Steratore then came on TV and said was the wrong call, was such a joke. Now, look, do the Jets win this game if they get that call? No, but you want Isaiah Williams to have that moment. He scored what? That would have been his third punt return this year. I mean, he's phenomenal. What a story. This guy was horrific at the beginning of the year, got cut. And now he's been like an all-pro level returner this year. And he got completely robbed by that terrible horse bleep call. So, yes, god-awful. Isaiah Williams should have had a touchdown there. Would have made it 21-14. They're in the game at that point. Who knows? But, again, they probably weren't going to win no matter what. But the refs are so bad. And how that is not able to be reviewed and corrected is an embarrassment for the NFL. It will get buried because it's the Jets and the Jags, and no one's watching besides us sickos. But terrible. Frozansky says, cut everyone on defense. Wilkes goes first. Horrible. Wilkes can go after 3 more games. I need 3 more games of Steve Wilkes Wilksing it up for us. All right? And then he can go. He's been terrible. J Quad, Super Chat, cuts the line in the raffle for 2. The Jets never showed up in Jacksonville, but Dark Knight Steve and myself represented the Asmaniacs. 0-3 this year in Florida. Thanks for making the drive home tolerable, Jake. Happy holidays, brother. Hey, shout out to our guy Joe and Dark Knight Steve. 2 awesome dudes who, unfortunately, were at this game today. Oh, it's brutal. That's brutal. Did you guys go in the pool at all? That might have been a highlight. At least you got good weather. I don't know if you guys are aware. The weather in New York had snow on the ground today. It is a nasty, cold, sleet, snow type of day here in New York City. So at least you got good weather for this game, Joe. Hope you and Steve made the best of it. Big fella checks in with a super chat. Glenn and Muji will be here. I expect wholesale changes. The trade up for a QB. I would throw Will McDonald in a package too. I've had it. Yeah, look, to me, anyone can be traded on this team. Outside of Garrett Wilson and the 2 tackles, pretty much. Maybe Tippmann as well. Like, I'm open to moving everyone. Will McDonald I like. We'll see if they pick up the 5th-year option. I'm not sure they will. It's a lot of money for a pass rusher who's so streaky. Now, maybe they think, hey, if we get a better defensive coordinator, he'll be a better player. But this head coach was puffing his chest about how good Will McDonald was going to be this year because of coaching. And outside of one game, he's been basically absent for all the other games, right? The Browns game, he had 4 sacks. He has done nothing in basically all the other ones. Terrible. Just not good enough. I'd be open to trading him. I'm open to trading anyone on this defense. There's no untouchables on the Jet defense. They stink. John with the super chat. Jets are built like the Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Circus. I mean, they are a clown show. I can't argue with you. It's terrible. It's unacceptable in this fan base. This great fan base deserves better. Stop me if you've heard that before. Jetpack says, raffle tickets. I hate this godforsaken team. Jetpack is in our signed Wayne Corbett jersey raffle for 2. Thanks for supporting the channel, Jetpack. Hope you're well. Danger Zone checks in. We stink. The guys are terrible. We stink. A callback to a legendary Jags rant. Oh, man, the stakes were a lot higher that night when the Jets lost that game on Thursday Night Football. Chris Streveler came in for a bench Zach Wilson. I got pneumonia from that game. Oh, the worst. Lou B says Kansas City may have just entered the quarterback draft race. No, they haven't, Lou. I don't know what Mahomes' injury yet. I've been live, so I don't know if they've announced anything, but they'd sign a veteran before they would go to a rookie or something like that if it's super serious. But isn't it crazy the Chiefs are done? Every year Mahomes has started, they have been in the AFC Championship game, and they're not even going to make the playoffs this year. Hard to believe. Bernard Nixon says, I look like Malachi Culkin? Macaulay Culkin, you mean? I don't think I do. No one's ever told me I look like the Home Alone kid, but thank you, I guess. I don't know. Please, someone do something is in our raffle for 5. I'm struggling to understand how we're supposed to trust this regime to draft, develop, and coach all these draft picks we have. I don't think you're supposed to, right? I mean, there'll be the blind Jet homers who will tell you, oh, this is the year, baby. We're good. We're the Jets. It's all going to turn. But if you have any sense of just realism in your body, you should be very skeptical about this head coach, this regime, and everything that's happening going forward. Let the Jets earn your trust because they haven't earned your blind faith. They haven't. They haven't earned your loyalty. Again, if you're a Jet season ticket holder, I simply ask you why. You could go on StubHub or SeatGeek or TickPick, choose your secondary ticket market, and you could get tickets for any home game next year. Every week you want to go, and over the course of a season, it will be significantly cheaper than the cost of spending money on your season tickets would be. And you could sit in the exact same section you normally would be in. Because who's renewing their season tickets right now? What's the point? What's the incentive? Do they give you all these great perks? You never get a home playoff game where you'd get face value on that, right? You haven't had that in over 20 years. You haven't seen a winning season in a decade. It's going to change next year all of a sudden. What's the point? The Jets should have to earn you as a customer. And just blindly give them money. If you want to go to a game, great. I go to games. I buy my tickets on the secondary market. Why would I be a season ticket holder right now? They have to earn your trust. That's how it should be. They don't deserve the loyalty that we give them. We're still going to care, still going to watch, still going to root for the team. But you shouldn't just blindly just say, here, take my $3,000 for my season tickets, and they're raising the prices on you, and the team's 3-11, and they've been non-competitive down the stretch. I mean, really? I mean, the only Jet fans who are going to be at the final home game against New England are going to be, well, they're not even going to be Jet fans. They're going to be Patriot fans. Terrible. Niall Newark says, we don't want Jim Leonard. All he did was get hurt. If you only remember Jim Leonard as a guy who only got hurt, you know absolutely nothing about the New York Jets. And I, quite frankly, do not, under any circumstance, have the patience to deal with you. So farewell. Thanks for the time. And see you later. Now look what you've done. No more protection from the Asmaniacs. Had to pull you out of the chat and cast you down with the sodomites. Some time in here will feel like you've been run over by the lane train. You understand me? You catch my drift? Give them another 24 hours to think about it. Moron. Bubba, super check, cuts the line, evaluate, LOL. Yes, let's continue to evaluate what the plan is for the future. I never hear about one, and I don't think there is one. It's real bad. Well, their plan is going to try and, get their quarterback in the draft. They'll have money in free agency. They'll probably sell Woody on spending money to fix the defense there. Again, tough to really believe in this regime right now. It just is. I hope they prove that they are good at their jobs, but year one has been a monstrous failure, right? Especially by the coaching staff. I think Muji's equated himself better as the year has gone on because of his in-season moves. And his first draft looks pretty good, right? Membu looks like a player. Taylor, unfortunately, was hurt today, but he looks like he could be a decent tight end. Sucks AZ Thomas is now out for the year. He needs the reps. The first draft class looks decent. The trades in season look good. Getting the picks, smart. But the coaching on this team, man, it just feels like it's horrific. I think Engstrand's been okay. Really tough to evaluate him given the quarterback situation. But the defensive coaching has been terrible. The in-game stuff from Glenn, right? Oh, he has the team ready to play. No, he doesn't. Can we stop at that? the NFL. They should be ready. You know who a coach who has his team ready to play? Mike McDaniel has his team ready to play with the Dolphins. They were left for dead. They fired their GM in season. Now they're playing on Monday Night Football, and they're a win against the Steelers tomorrow from being 7-7 after they started 2-7 or 2-6. Matty P is the first to gift the membership. He is in the raffle for a one. Matty, I appreciate you, man. Thank you. Michael with a super chat. Your calls are coming up shortly here. He says worse than the Kotite days. 5 times giving up 31 points in the first half. Wilkes should not get the rest of the season. I think he should get the rest of the season because it doesn't behoove the Jets right now to make any change and increase their chances of winning. Let Steve Wilkes it up 3 more times, and then we will say, thank you, Steve, but farewell, you're done. Coach James checks in. He's in the raffle for one. He says, fire Wilkes already. I'm worried about next season having this coaching team. We need real leaders. Stop hiring rookie coaches. We suck developing them. Tired. Aaron's coaching team sucks. Yeah, look, again, this was my fear when you hire another first-time head coach who's learning on the job. Aaron Glenn might be a good coach one day. Maybe. Or he'll be bad like a lot of guys that the Jets have hired. I don't know. What I do know is if you hired someone who's been a successful head coach before, they're not learning on the job again and again and again. Like Woody Johnson just loves to hire newbies. This is what happens. We don't know. He's not getting fired, I don't believe, so we have to hope he improves. But I've seen nothing that I could feel good about the coach going forward. I'm sorry. I tried to buy into they're playing hard for him. You know, they've been a lot better. The game management's been better. We're grasping at straws, if you really think about it. Again, for those who believe in Aaron Glenn, just tell me why so I can understand. Like, I want to believe. I'm a Jet fan. I love this team. I don't see it right now. It's easy just to blame Steve Wilkes. He hired Wilkes. It's easy to blame the personnel. He has final say on personnel. A lot of these guys we're criticizing, they brought back. They invested in. Sherwood. They signed Stevens. Oh, he's been so good, Jake. Not anymore. I mean, Clemens is still here. Tony Adams, they gave a contract to. They kept him. Isaiah Oliver, they kept him. They gave him a contract. They brought him back. They watched the tape last year and said, we need this guy. You know? The linebacking situation's an abomination. They don't have an interception yet. An Aaron-led team doesn't have a pick. We're 15 weeks into the year, folks. Rico in the raffle for 5. Thank you, Rico. Sean is in the raffle for 2. He says, rolling the dice for the Wayne Corbett jersey. Sean, good luck to you. Thanks for supporting the show. Jet Lee in the raffle for 2. He says, how many times are we going to have failed outside runs on 4th down? I mean, the one play where Brees got basically tripped up early in the game was a huge momentum changer for what it's worth. He's got to make a play there. It's tough. All right, let's get to some calls, shall we? A lot of you want in on the conversation. We'll go to Paul, who's first today. Hey, Paul, what do you got for us?
What's going on, Jake? How's everything?
What's up, Paul?
You know, we're a freaking joke. And it's like to even sit there and entertain Burrow is just ridiculous. Why would that dude come here? You know, I could at least see why Aaron Rodgers did it. There was a different type of hope then, and you kind of felt like we had some competency, and it didn't work out, right? But like, I mean, he's watching what's going on. Why would he come here? Like, why would he come and have to deal with going up against fucking every year Buffalo and now New England again? Like, no one's coming here. Like, we suck. No one is going to come here, and it's never going to end. And unless they do something drastic to change it and get a coach in here that is actually well-renowned. And, you know, you look around the league and there's rumblings that Baltimore is going to fire their coach and that Pittsburgh might fire their coach. You know what? I don't want their coaches. I want to steal whoever they want as coach because they actually are competent and they know what they're doing. And the biggest mistake we have is we take everybody's leftover crap that's never even worked anything. And we're never going to get better until we have an actual well-coached team and people will come here. We have no shot at Burrow. It's a joke. Like, give it up, people. Would you want to come here on this shit team and have to go up against New England and Buffalo twice a year.
Forget
and
that,
even
Paul.
Miami.
Forget that. If you're Joe Burrow, why would you ever want to play for the Jets? They have who's the great coach he's putting his faith in on this team? He's got no relationship with Aaron Glenn or Tanner Engstrand to believe in him. He's not going to look at this roster and feel like, oh, I put myself here. We're ready to win. I don't care how good we feel about the two tackles on the team or Garrett Wilson. The Burrow thing, it's an interesting conversation because of the amount of picks the Jets have. It's never happening. One, I don't think he's leaving Cincinnati. And two, even if he were to entertain leaving, there's no way he's agreeing to waive his no trade to be a Jet.
Yeah, it's a pipe dream. It's literally a pipe dream, especially when he could actually go to one of his arch rivals and go to Pittsburgh for that matter, and at least play for a good organization. Like, I know they would never trade him to Pittsburgh. I get it, but just saying hypothetically, right? He could pop a 1-year deal. Like, it's a waste of our time. Like, all I do is I look at this team and I'm like, there is no immediate hope. Like, nothing is even going to semi-turn around next year. And when are we ever going to be we're never going to be in competition with New England and Buffalo now. Like, we had a little bit of a window there the last few years where we actually stood a chance and we crapped the bed as always. And it's the same old Jets. It's never going to stop. There's nothing they're going to do to fix it because we have bad ownership, and it starts with ownership. And we're dog shit, and we're always going to be dog shit and an embarrassment. You know, watching the fantasy football, look at the points Trevor Lawrence put up today. Like, he actually, luckily I had a bye, but he annihilated somebody out of fantasy football that started him this week. Like, he scored like 60 points.
Hey,
we're horrible.
If you have a player going up against the Jet defense, you got to play him. Joe Caporoso tweeted this image. I just grabbed it off his X account. This was a play that Trevor Lawrence scored a touchdown on. This was the rushing touchdown he had to put him up 14-0. What the hell are the Jet defensive players doing here? Who's that, Sherwood? I mean, what is he doing here? How does this end up being a touchdown? Again, they have no leadership on that defense. None. Sherwood is a captain in name only. They don't have leaders. Even when Quinnen was here, right? He's the de facto leader because he's been here. But he was checked out. He didn't believe in Steve Wilkes and Aaron Glenn. That's why he immediately goes to the Cowboys and plays like an all-pro again. Again, other than I think Jawan Briggs, I can't tell you one player on this defense that has improved. Cannot tell you one defensive player. Oh, just so bad. The coaching's bad. The talent's bad. And it doesn't give you anything to exactly be confident in. But we have no choice. I don't think the head coach is going anywhere. We have to hope he improves. I think I read this from Jet Li, but if I didn't, I'll read it again. How many times are we going to have failed? Oh, I didn't read this. Freeze play. Yep. It's bad. It's all bad. More calls. Let's say hello to Frank, who's next. Hey, Frank.
Another week, another disappointment, another loss. Excuse my dog. Another lost season. He's as depressed as I am. I understand the picks. I understand tanking for a quarterback. Steve, I'm with you on this one. Let Steve Wilkes Wilk it up for the next 3 weeks. What do you have to lose? More games? Okay, 3 weeks. Who cares? Not a big deal. We've been through bad seasons before. But this coaching staff, I told you, some weeks, the weeks where they were actually looked like they were playing hard, really, really good moments where you say, okay, the talent's not there, but they're playing hard. They're fighting for Aaron Glenn. And it just looks like they're all checked out. And it's just another down year for the New York Jets. They just can never get past. They can never get past any semblance of down moments. They can't find any consistency where they just fight. They find a will to fight. I mean, that picture that Joe Caporoso put up, the defense is right there. And Trevor, and not only that, the other play that I couldn't stand was Trevor Lawrence is like 15 yards behind the line of scrimmage and just throws it up, and Washington catches it. And Isaiah Oliver's right in front of him, and they just let the ball sail right over their head. Completed pass. They have so many holes on this roster. It's not even just the quarterback, because you can't just say, "Oh, pick Fernando Mendoza; he'll fix everything." Or if Dante Moore comes out, "Oh, Dante Moore is going to fix it." You don't have corners. You don't have edge rushers that can consistently get to the quarterback. You don't have linebackers who can call plays or set a defense. You don't have safeties that can cover. And The Jets are lucky to have Fashanu and Membu on the offensive line, and I think Joe Tippmann. I think they're lucky that they have those three, and they have Garrett Wilson. Outside of that, this roster is barren for talent. They have no talent anywhere. Brees Hall, goodbye. Don't want to hear franchise tag. He got swiped on the hand by Trayvon Walker and fell on that fourth down play. How do you get swiped on the hand? It's different if it's the ankle. You got swiped on the hand by Trayvon Walker. Trayvon Walker swiped his hand. He went down. This team has lost all of its ability to fight, and it's just like I said, you know me. At the beginning of the season, I was worried about Glenn. The middle of the season, they showed some fight, but it's just how do you keep this coaching staff around? Steve Wilkes has got to go. Engstrand only gets a slight benefit of the doubt because the quarterback situation is so horrible. But how do you sell fans on this then next year? And I get it. The picks, we traded away everybody. We're going to rebuild this thing the right way. Tell me one thing that they've done outside of Muji's in-season trades that has given you any hope for the future. It's a mortal embarrassment.
Yeah, Frank, good call. I mean, again, the two bright spots for the Jets season have been the in-season moves by Darren Muji and the special teams, right? Chris Banjo's been a good hire by Glenn. Been a great special teams unit that they wasted, right? Like Nick Folkta, he's nailing every kick like it's easy. And watch, like next year, he'll come back and he'll probably suck as the Jets are now going to be hopefully improved and in a better situation to try and win games. Like we wasted an amazing special teams here. McNamara should be an all-pro, right? He had a number of great punts again today inside the 10. It's just we wasted a great special teams unit. Like it's awesome to say, but they got robbed today of another punt return touchdown by Isaiah Williams. Just the whole thing just stinks, man. Stinks. It really does. Because you're really like you're grasping at straws to try and find like all these positives that make you feel great. More calls.
Gator, where is my intro? I need a cool intro. I've been calling in, supporting Jake for over 4 years. You did intros for Papa Jet, and Adam is too cool. I'm worthy of an intro, Gator. I don't understand why I don't have an intro. You suck, Gator. You really suck.
And so do the Jets really suck.
They do.
Right?
They do.
Jake. I tell you, man, I really don't have confidence that Glenn is our guy. I really don't. I know that he's going to be here, and he's not going anywhere. But
maybe if they lose the next three the exact way they lost today, then maybe there's that slight chance Woody will come to his senses and make a change. But even then, I'm not sure. I think Woody was sold on this plan at the deadline from both Glenn and Muji that we're going to get the quarterback and it's going to look a lot better next year. And whether or not that's true, I have no idea. I hope it does, but I find it hard to believe he's going anywhere.
What would you say, Jake, if he was bold, Woody? They lost these last 3 games, like you said. They got their butts kicked in. But Woody finally paid attention a little bit, and he kind of liked what Muji did, the moves that Muji did. And I know you say they go hand in hand, but let's just hypothetically say that Woody says, you know what, Aaron, I'm sorry. Especially these last 3 games, we look like horse shit. You're out. Muji stays. And they went out and they hired a McCarthy or someone else. Would you be a little bit more optimistic?
I would. Yeah, I just don't see it happening at all. So I'm not even going to try and get my hopes up.
I know. But you know what it is too, Jake? I mean, say whatever you want. And anyone can say whatever they want on the chat or anything, how badly people wanted Salah gone and everything. But let me tell you one thing about Salah. Salah made this defense a lot better. Adams, horseshit player. On the Salah, he was a good player. You could say the same thing about Quinnen. You could say the same thing about Sherwood. All these guys were better or all pro. Sauce, too, the first 2 years. All pro under Salah. As soon as Salah left, everything went down the toilet. All these guys, all of a sudden, these are the arguments that I have a little bit with Peter and Neil. And I say, well, here's the thing. I'm not saying that you're supposed to be happy with the way Quinnen and Sauce were playing. but don't you put a little bit on the teachers, your coaches here, the way they're coaching up these guys? How all of a sudden are these guys so Pro Bowl good, Jake? All pro, in fact. And then we get Wilkes, and these guys are horrible. Sherwood looks awful. He looks. Quincy's over pursuing. He looks awful. Tony Adams looks bad. All these guys look so freaking bad under Wilkes. And then under Albrecht, too. It wasn't good last year, too. At least Saleh knew how to coach up the defense or something. He wasn't a good head coach. But, I mean, it's scary. But this is what we're going to have to live with now, Jake. We're going to have to live with this guy possibly being here at least maybe another 2 more years. And there's still people saying that we shouldn't get the quarterback. Oh, we have much too many holes. Maybe let's wait for 2027. They're still saying it. Bart Scott was saying it on the show, too. He was like, well, he was still talking about Shador. Maybe we should just get Shador. We might have to give up too much in order to get Mendoza.
Yeah, I'm good on Shador. If you watched him today, I mean, it was awful today. So I'm good on Shador Sanders. They need a quarterback. I don't think you force it and trade all 5-year ones you have over the next 2 years, because they do have a lot of holes. But their biggest hole by far is quarterback, and you got to get the quarterback in the building. Surround him with a lot of talent, right? You do have the O-line in place for the most part. You have a number 1 receiver. Bring back Brees. I disagree with Frank, who said he's done with Brees. I think Brees had a bad game today, and the box is also constantly stacked, and he's still going to have 1,000 yards rushing this year. But, again, while the Jets have a lot of holes, and head coach is a huge hole in this conversation, they still got to get a quarterback if there's someone that they could get that they believe in. But no, I don't want Shador Sanders. I don't even know where Bart said that. I didn't hear him say that on the SNY postgame show today. That's when he said it. I must have missed that. Oh, it's terrible. Hey, shout out to Paul Faz. He's the first to gift memberships during the show. More than 1. He gifted 5 channel memberships. Hey now. We're giving away a signed Wayne Corbett jersey to one lucky Asmaniac at the end of the show. Make sure you enter the raffle before the show ends. Let's get to more of your calls right now. Up next.
They call me Alan and everybody hates me because I'm a super douchebag.
Hello, Alan.
That was pretty good. I like that. He definitely struggled in the second half. Josh Allen proved that he's the best quarterback in the NFL today.
Tough loss for your Patriots. I'm so sorry for you.
Yes, it was. Couple of comments. First of all, I'm in awe watching 44-year-old Phillip Rivers with 10 kids.
You just do a nice touchdown pass.
Yeah, it's unbelievable to watch it. It's ridiculous. Okay. I don't know if you've mentioned this. With the season ending for Mr. Patrick Mahomes, it actually helps the Jets greatly because the Chiefs actually go to Tennessee next week and they go to Vegas the last week of the year.
I have not mentioned that, but I will say that is a good point by you, Alan, because yes, maybe they just completely quit knowing they're eliminated and Mahomes is not playing.
Yes, and that was a nasty injury. That looked.
They said what it is yet? I haven't been following since I've been live.
I had watched it looked like the knee popped. That's the crazy thing. Yeah,
not good.
Not good. It was definitely the knee. The knee looked like it popped, the left knee. So that's terrible.
Even if it's not like an ACL, they're going to shut them down anyway. Now,
I mean, they're out of the playoffs. So it doesn't make a difference. So they go to Tennessee and they go to Vegas the last week of the season. So that's big for the Jets. I do hope that there's actually separation between GM and coach going forward, because I have a lot of confidence in the GM. I think he's made some shrewd moves. I think he has a plan, and I do worry. And I know you have Tannenbaum on Sunday's show. I do worry that Glenn has too much power here, to the point where Glenn might be forced to make a move in the offseason that the Jets should not be making. And I hope that Muji actually uses his brains and really thinks about the rebuild, methodically utilizes those picks and cap space to rebuild this correctly. So, where the Jets finished 3rd or 4th, I'm not one who's going to, first of all, I think the Raiders lose out. So I think they'll get the number 1 pick. And I think they'll get Mendoza. That's just my opinion. But unless Dante Moore comes out, which I still don't think he will, but
I think he will, but we'll see.
If he doesn't come out, I just hope the Jets think smart. And if they end up with the 3rd or 4th pick and aren't able to move up, which I hope they do not, I hope they move back and actually build this correctly and get some more picks and build this team as a whole. I actually watched the Bills Patriots game today, so I didn't watch 1 second of the Jets, but I followed the Jet game today. And I mean, there is no one on this defense that I would be confident going forward. They just don't have players. They have nobody. The defense is so poor to the point where you need to completely reconstruct the defense. And I'd rather do that in the draft with guys like Sonny Styles or guys like Caden McDonald or guys like Caleb Downs if they trade back. I think that's the best way for this team to be built rather than force the issue and go get a quarterback this offseason. That's always been my belief. I think there's too many holes on this roster for them to basically force the issue and go get a quarterback that I just don't think is a franchise quarterback. I know you and Rob and Neil, they want to go all in for quarterbacks, or especially Mendoza. I just don't think this is the right opportunity for them to do it. And please, no Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow doesn't seem interested. Let him go to LA or let him go to Minnesota. I don't want him here. For a guy who's made $177 million, he doesn't seem like he actually gives a shit anymore. Just get him out of here. I don't want him on the Jets. And that's pretty much the bottom line. I just want them to build this correctly. And if they end up with the 3rd or 4th pick and have the ability to maybe maneuver or trade back and get more picks, that I think is the best option for them to go forward rather than force the issue and get their quarterback in 26. Unfortunately, it's 15 years and counting. I'm 51 years old. I have the patience to wait 1 more year and wait till 2027 to build this team correctly. But I hope they don't do so in 2026.
They call me Alan and everybody hates me 'cause I'm a super douchebag.
I disagree with most of that. The only thing I'll say is you don't trade away all your picks to move up a couple spots. But if you have a chance to get, let's say it is Fernando Mendoza, if you believe in him, then get him. Because if you don't have a quarterback, I don't care how good the rest of your roster is. We've seen the Jets have good rosters that didn't win anything because they were held back by quarterback. So, like, I'm not trading away multiple 1s and 2s. But if it costs me my own first and the Colts pick to move up from 5 to 1 with the Giants, let's say, then I'll do it because I need a quarterback. All right, build the roster sounds great. I don't need to watch Brady Cook start games again for this team or Gardner Minshew next year or whoever. Kirk Cousins, whoever, what other bad or mediocre option we're going to debate. And it's not going to matter. Maybe Phillip Rivers could be the Jets bridge QB. Like I'm not doing it. All right, I'm getting a quarterback. And Allen doesn't think Dante Moore is going to declare. Guess what? If he does, that changes the entire call he just made. You know, by the way, Allen, your guy Lenora Sellers, who on October 5th, you said the Jets have to do everything in their power to take. Well, he's going back to school because he sucked this year. So I can't wait. Oh, the quarterback class in 27, get it then. No, man, if you like one of these guys, you might be an improved football team in 2026, right? The Jets are probably going to win by accident more than 3 games in 2026. And then the same people saying they don't want to trade up this year for anyone. What are you going to do next year when you have to trade up next year? And then other teams also need quarterbacks in a better class, and you might not be able to get the guy you like. And then what? You got to get a quarterback this offseason within reason. Obviously, if you can't, you can't. If no one comes out besides Mendoza and it's a 1 quarterback draft class at the top, fine. Then you maybe trade back, get some extra picks. You take a quarterback in the 2nd round, like what the Saints did with Tyler Shuck, for example, right? You take someone on day 2 and, you know, at least you have some young person that's going to get the reps when you inevitably fall out of it next year. But come on. You got to get a quarterback. Mike Perez in the raffle for 2. Thank you, Mike. Jake, the Pats loser, still 10-3. Shoot me. Rob now has the best intro. Yeah, they like the new Rob intro, huh? He's now got 2 intros. But for not having having 2 just like that. They're 11-3. But I do think that is a good thing for the Jets that they lost because it makes that game against the Jets super important because they haven't clinched the AFC East at that point. And they're still playing for the top seed. We'll see what happens in this Broncos game that's going on because they're obviously playing and they're competing with New England for the top seed in the conference. FPP says, Allen, best caller. Come on, man. That's a poo-poo take. More calls, shall we, ladies and gentlemen? Sing along. Stop what you're doing. Here we go. It's time for Neil.
Get ready for Neil. He will make 13 points about the New York Jets and maybe hump a Patriots jersey. Get ready for Neil. He's probably smoking a big fat cigar and burning his house to the ground. That's Neil.
Jake, my brother.
Hello.
Hey, could Alan please, for that guy to say he's the best caller, first of all, he didn't even watch the fucking game.
He's not a real Jet fan. All he cares
Jesus
about is the
Christ,
Jets
could he go
bad.
do something else? Could he go on some kind, start a draft podcast? I swear to God, how much is it going to take to get this guy off of these podcasts? Every time I turn around, I see that son of a bitch. I want to strangle him because, first of all, he thinks he's Alan Kuiper. He thinks he's Mel Kiper. All he talks about is the fucking draft. He wants the Jets to suck forever. He is horrible. I swear I can't take him anymore. Now, let's talk about coaching a second. All right. If you see, are you going to do any more shows with Tannenbaum this year?
Every Sunday through the Super Bowl.
Okay. Could you tell him how he could rip off a team with his 33rd stinking whatever the hell they are? Tell him to give the money back to charity that he took from Woody Johnson. Because let me give you the list. Schottenheimer, winning with Dallas. Liam Cohen, looks like a freaking genius. Ben Johnson, looking like a genius, 10-plus wins. Steichen, winning. He brings in Rivers after he loses his quarterback, and he's throwing touchdowns at 44 years old. That's a coach. Do you understand? Let's keep going. Harbaugh, last year, again, Chargers are going to be in the playoffs, probably a Super Bowl. Vrabel, we all know. Even this Panthers coach, Canales, first-time coach. Look what the hell they're doing. They're winning like crazy. And then Mike McDonald on Seattle, another first-time coach winning, Jake. We got the only goddamn coach that sucks. Jake, am I wrong?
I agree.
You better tell Tannenbaum to get off, stop consulting start some kind of consulting firm for something other than football because he doesn't know dick. He might start a drafting with Allen. Jesus, God almighty. Jake, this defense, let me say this to you. The defense, it's not the talent that much. These guys are out of position.
It's both. It's both. The defense is horrifically coached, and the talent they do have is all regressed. The idea that the Jets have just 0 players on defense, like some are trying to argue, is objectively false. It's not true.
No, it's not the players. It's how they're coached. It's the positions they're in. It's the play calling on defense. And the fact that Aaron Glenn is a defensive coach and he is not even going to grab the playbook from this guy Wilkes or fire him or do whatever shows me he has no leadership capability whatsoever. Okay, Jake? 0. So I'm done. I can't take this anymore. We're going to have 3 more games. You said it. We all said it. If this guy, there is no way I'm watching the Saints. I'm watching the
They
Titans.
call me Alan and everybody hates me cause I'm a super douchebag.
I love you,
Oh,
Neil.
God,
All I heard,
please.
I looked at the chat and
Alan.
I didn't even hear what you said. I know it was dissing
Okay,
me, but it's fine.
Alan, please don't comment on a Jet channel about the Jets when you don't even watch them.
Why do I need to watch the game? Everybody knew they were going to lose by 4 touchdowns.
That
today.
doesn't matter, Alan.
It's
Alan,
over.
we
Neil.
are fans of the Jets.
Neil,
We get on this
there's no need
channel
to
and we
watch this
talk to
anymore. I can
Jake,
suck
and we
ass
don't want to
over
hear
this.
about your draft analysis because you're a moron.
I'm
Get
a
the hell off
moron.
my screen.
Again, you thought
Jake,
Ben
take him off
Johnson
my
was
screen.
coming here, Neil? You thought Ben Johnson was coming here? You
That
thought
doesn't
Liam
matter,
Cohen was coming
Alan.
here? You
Nobody,
stupid
let's hear it,
fucking
Alan.
moron.
Nobody wants
Neil,
to come to the Jets.
Neil,
Nobody
no one
did.
wants
They're
to
the
come
worst
to the
team,
Jets.
the worst team in
I'm
the world.
freaking smart.
Nobody
I
wants to come
understand you're
here.
64
We all know it,
and
Alan.
life is almost over. I get it. You have to be smart with the rebuild. I get it. I
Smart
know
with the
you and
rebuild.
Jake and Rob,
Oh.
they want this Fernando Mendoza, who in my
Again with
opinion is not that
Mendoza.
good.
Come here. You,
Oh,
you
shut
son of a
up,
bitch.
you
You
idiot.
son of a bitch. You said
stupid
something
idiot.
about me being
You are
adopted.
the
You
dumbest human
asshole.
being.
I got news for you. I was born in 1984, scumbag. So next time you talk your shit, I'm gonna bitch slap you
Shut
like
your
your mother
mouth,
did
you
to
stupid
15 years ago,
moron.
you slimy little prick.
You are a
They
moron.
call me Alan and everybody hates me cause I'm a super douchebag.
Win or lose, this fan base is the absolute greatest. I love all of you. What a rumble. Neil, Alan, Beast. What more do you want? What's better than that? Unbelievable. All right, more of your calls here. Can we get the show back on track? Probably not, but we are doing a raffle at the end for a signed Corvette jersey. Buckle up.
If Mad Max ain't yapping about jets, that boy, he's jamming, he's slamming, freaking dancing, wall smashing. I'm Jake Asman. If Mad Max ain't ever stopped yapping, that boy, he still be dancing. Then call Jake Asman. He got an orange wall.
Can you guys hear me?
No.
Aaron Glenn says, we're not the same old Jets. He's right. It's worse. Joke. Absolute joke. This franchise continues to sink too lows. Just when you think it can't get any worse. The Jets are like, hold my beer. It was an absolute embarrassment today, Jake. We lost 48-20 offense. Let's talk about the offense may play decent, but really the defense is a shit show. It's a shit show, Jake. And Steve Wilkes, he's not making the air. Honestly, he's the worst defensive coordinator I've ever seen. And Aaron Glenn's like doesn't want to take play calling from this. I'm like, look, how many defensive players improved under Wilkes? Zero. He's the worst defensive coordinator I've ever seen. Even Beast is a better defensive coordinator. Is Beast on the show?
Oh, he's always here, Mad Max, but this is about you.
Can we get Beast on the line? Because honestly, Beast will be a better defensive coordinator than Steve Wilkes. He shows off balls. You know, he's one of the most archaic 4-3-2 linebacker that even a high school team can score on Steve Wilkes' defense. That's how bad of a coordinator he is, honestly.
It's disappointing, Mad Max. It's disappointing. Another Jets season coming to its conclusion with a couple more debacles still to go.
You know what else is inept? We still have no interceptions, Jake, honestly. It's embarrassing. We still have zero interceptions. You know what I'll do if I was the head coach of the Jets? I would have every defensive players catch balls in a jugs machine. You know, I'm going, on the broadcast, I think Tom McCarthy actually said on the podcast, the Jets practice the interceptions around. Maybe practice that all day until a defensive player actually catches it with the jugs machine. Because seriously, we have zero interceptions the entire season. It's actually inept, Jake. Honestly, if I was coaching the Jets, I would have Beast Breaker as my defensive coordinator, and I would have Black Gypsy as my offensive coordinator. What's your thoughts on that, Jake?
I love it, Mad Max. Now, can you show us how to properly catch a football?
Yeah, this is how you properly catch a football. So you catch it. You actually if you have a football, you have to catch it. You have to get to put your hands up like that, and that's how you catch it. Football.
Let me bring on my catching instructor.
Two hands like this. Supposed to have the two hands. Once you get the ball, lock it in place, and then just hang it on like this, and then drive. But I'm going to take it easy today because my back's a little messy right now. Yeah, cold weather. I'll tell you, wait until you get older, son. 20 years from now, you're going to have the same back pain like I will. But
Honestly, Beast, you'll be a better defensive coordinator than Wilkes.
Today, we shit the bed so bad that they couldn't even clean up their own goddamn mess. This is how bad it is. They couldn't even lace their pair of boots. They couldn't even move their ass. They were halfway falling asleep like they were drunk at some free loaded party, out in somewhere in Muskogee somewhere going, looked like they were drunk after about 12 or 13 beers. They didn't look like a team today. They looked like a fallen down frat house of drunks. You're going, yeah. Now, how old are you, Max? I'm gonna ask you. How old are you?
I'm 20. I'm in college, and you could get it because I go to the France all the time at school. They look like someone that were right in the France, except maybe the Frog Boys will play better than the Jets today. Honestly, against the Jags. Honestly,
are you in a fraternity?
No, I'm not. But I'm just saying. But I'm saying, I know a lot of frat guys. They can play better. I know a lot of frat guys of our own. They can play better than this Jets team. Honestly.
If you were in a fraternity, what would you do right now in a fraternity? What would you say to these boys right now today? How would you describe the Jets?
I mean, I have these drunk players to play better because, the Jets defense is inept, Beast. Honestly, it's like inept, This defense
Jets, Jets. Just two guys talking Jets football there. Mad Max will overpower anyone. It doesn't matter. I could put anyone on, and Mad Max will talk right over them. T-Weapon with a super chat. We won't draft the QB, and you will suck it up, pal. No, they're drafting a quarterback, T-Weapon. You think Woody Johnson is going to be on board with another year like this with no hope? With Brady Cook starting his last home game? They're taking a quarterback. Might not be the one we want, but they're taking a quarterback. They are. They're not doing another year of, bridge and building the team. Oh. Hey, you could do both. You could walk and chew gum at the same time. Get your quarterback and build the team. Do both. You have $100 million in salary cap space. Even if you have to trade up, you still have a lot of other draft picks. Build the team. We can do both. We can get a quarterback and build the team. It doesn't have to be one or the other. Del Rey writes in my opinion, bringing Tommy DeVito is the bridge. If DeVito's one of the veterans, fine. Not the only veteran. He's Drake May's backup right now. If you tell me it's him, Minshew, and then they're drafting someone, or him, Garoppolo, and they're drafting okay, he could be one of them. He can't be the only. David says, Jake, this cast is the best. I don't even care about losing. I appreciate you, David. People ask me all the time, how do you talk about the Jets 4 hours a day, year round? And I say, well, I have guys like Beast and other great callers who make it worthwhile.
Yeah, I'm a little thirsty right now. Well, but this team gets a grade of F.
Jets, Jets. More of your calls right now. Hotline link is pinned for those who want to join the postgame show. Please enter the raffle. We only have 6 gifted memberships so far, which is low for a great giveaway. So I'm going to gift the membership right now. If you want one, make sure you like the video, you're subscribed to the channel, and you have in your settings that you want to be able to receive a gifted membership in the YouTube algorithm. It will reward you. One lucky listener. I'm going to gift the membership coming up shortly. But more of your calls, and then we'll do that. We'll get to the raffle at the end of the stream as well. We're following all the games right now. At the half, the Colts are up 13-6 on the Seahawks. Phillip Rivers has thrown a touchdown, which is amazing. And look, it's a cool story, right? I want to root for the Colts, but I can't as a Jet fan. But I do respect the hell out of Phillip Rivers somehow playing today. It's unbelievable. Matt in Rhode Island, it looks like, is next on the show. Hello, Matt.
Hey, Jake, how you doing?
What's up, Matt?
There we go. Not much. Same shit, different day with this team, especially living 30 minutes from Foxborough where the Patriots play.
Brutal. Brutal.
So, no, it's awful. So, I think kind of looking big picture, I feel like Glenn is at the exact same spot Saleh was his first year, because Saleh's defense that first year was hot garbage. And you're sort of seeing the same thing here. And
Hey, Matt, do me a favor. Your internet is as trash as the Jets defense. If you call back, I'll put you on right away. but we were having major delays and choppiness with your signal there. So do me a favor, call back. The link is pinned in the live chat. I'm going to post it again, and we'll put you in there. In the meantime, Steady Eddie is on the line. We got Edward Ziff. What's up, Edward? Hey, move your mic up, Edward. We can't hear you.
They hung 50 on us.
Yes, they did.
And it's ridiculous. I don't trust this regime to pick a quarterback or a linebacker or a defensive end or safety. I don't trust them to do anything. I trust Moochie, but I don't trust this coaching staff to take any player that we get and coach them up. About the only thing that they've done successfully is slow down and lower the penalties. That's about the only thing I've seen from this team. Last 2 weeks has been a regression. It looked like they might be on the upswing, but then again, you look at the people they were playing against, and they were only able to have an upswing against other hot garbage. And Miami wasn't even that great. They were just, doing better, but I mean, Aaron Glenn is supposed to be a defensive head coach, and I'm sorry. I'm trying to like him because I loved him as a player. He was one of my favorite players when he played. He had 41 career interceptions. That's Jets and the other teams he played. I think he had almost 30 with the Jets alone, something like that. But, I mean, what the hell? I mean, I don't see Steve Wilkes. They should have made him take the train home. I mean, for God's sakes, holy shit. I mean, it's ridiculous. He should have been on the Amtrak. I don't have a solution to this. The only thing I know is if you go by the draft and the point system that they have in the draft, a first round pick, they say is what, 3,000 points, something like that. I would not spend more than 3,300 points to move up. That's like my line in the sand. I'll go over to 3,000, but 33 is it. But if Mendoza's not there or that other kid doesn't come out and he's not there, then I'm going to trade back. And there is a player who was supposedly really good last year who stayed in school. I think he suffered an ankle injury, but I looked up what was going on with him. I think his name is Drew Aller or something like that. Do you know who I'm talking about?
The Penn State quarterback?
Yeah. They say he's pretty good, and they say he's really well on the mend. So maybe I'd take a flyer on him in a later round or something.
I'm only doing that if there's just no way to get a quarterback early. If there's just not enough that declare that are first-round guys, or they are just in no position to even trade up because the teams in front of them refuse to make a deal with the Jets. But
how much? I got to ask you, how much trust do you have in this regime to pick the right guy? And if they do pick the right guy, because that's always a 50-50 proposition, who the hell are they going to get to coach him? They got a running back coaching quarterbacks.
Yeah. I get the concern, Edward, but I'm still drafting a quarterback if I could get one. I think that's still the logical move for this team. You still need you need a quarterback, and hopefully they don't screw him up too bad in year one. And if it is as bad as we think, there'll be a new coach for year two, and I still would have 3 first-round picks, and maybe take another quarterback if it's so bad in year one. Who knows?
So, all right. Let's say we can get Mendoza or one of the other top picks. Let's say everyone who's supposed to come out in the draft comes out in the draft. We don't get Mendoza, but we get the other guy. I can't remember his name. I'm 65 and I'm having a senior moment. But if you can get that other guy, do you double up on quarterback so that you don't have to dip into your trade assets of next year? Because your draft assets next year. I don't want to touch any of next year's picks. I don't want to do that.
Look, in a perfect world, you don't have to touch those picks, but if you do, you do. I mean, if you love Fernando Mendoza and believe in him, they're going to be aggressive to try and get him, or if it's Dante Moore, whoever it is.
But the reason I don't want to touch next year's picks is because if Aaron Glenn doesn't get it done, he's gone next year. And I'm not going to give him 2 shots at all these draft picks to screw it up again. I don't trust it. Bottom line, I do not trust this coaching staff to coach up a rookie quarterback and turn this around. I do not trust this regime. I don't. I'm sorry. If it was up to me right now, seriously, if I was running the Jets right now, I would fire him. Not now, but at the end of the season, I clean house and I get John Gruden.
Well, I'll tell
That's
you what,
who
Edward. I understand you
sorry.
don't trust them. I'm not telling you to trust them, and you don't have to apologize for that because I don't have a whole lot of trust in them either. But the owner does, and he's going to give them the opportunity to pick their quarterback this offseason. So you have to.
But
hope
we already know this owner is an imbecile.
Well, what do you want me to do about that, Edward? I can't control who owns the team.
No. I'm just saying we're talking. What would you do? Let me ask you. You know, you always ask everyone's opinion.
If I own
what would you do?
If I owned the
Yes.
team, I never would have hired another first-time head coach in the first place. I was vehemently against hiring. It wasn't Glenn. It was just the idea of hiring, once again, another first-time head coach, especially one from a defensive background. I was never on board with the first-timer thing. I didn't want a first-time GM and first-time head coach. I was tired of guys learning on the job, being paid millions to do so, struggling because
I bet you wouldn't have let. I bet you would not have let Vrabel out of the building.
Well, if it was up to me, I would have had Mike Vrabel as my head coach going into the 2024 season, right? If he was available, I
Right.
said it then. I would have fired Robert Saleh and Douglas and cleaned house and hired Vrabel then and salvaged the last year of Rodgers. But they don't listen to me. So we have to hope that Aaron Glenn improves because I don't think he's getting fired.
Like I said, I love the guy. I really do. I love Aaron Glenn. I think he's a good guy. I really do. I'm very concerned over them getting a quarterback because if it doesn't work out next year, oh my God, well, we got another 3 years to go. We're going to be like 18, 19 years with no playoffs. Like I said, I'm not getting any younger and shit. First off, Jake, I've seen you on the show losing your shit. You're a ginger. You guys are just naturally hot-headed anyway, and I don't want you to hurt yourself.
If it makes you feel any better, @JJoke says he would totally buy acid from you, Edward.
He would buy acid from me. Well, that's funny. You know, a lot of people think that I'm nuts. They do. Like I call in Boy Green every day, and they think I'm crazy. But I've been right. But I never wanted to get rid of Darnold. I was in the camp of trade back and get all the picks and keep Darnold. So there you go.
Now tell me more about this facial hair that you have, Edward. What are we calling this thing?
What facial hair? This?
Yeah, the goatee chin beard type thing.
Oh, I just got tired of looking 65, man. I just dyed it. It came out a little darker than I like, but what the fuck? It'll fade again. It'll grow back out to gray. I don't give a shit.
You're saying that you look like John Lennon. Is this true?
John Lennon. Hold on a second. John Lennon. Hold on. I look like John Lennon, huh? Fuck that shit. All right, hold on a second.
Do you prefer Ozzy?
Who the fuck is that?
Oh, see, you are John Lennon.
No, that is John Lennon, but yeah, I prefer Ozzy.
You are John Lennon.
I am not John Lennon.
Where's Yoko?
Edward. I don't know. Freaking eating tofu or something. What the fuck do I know?
Dixon says you stole Boy Green's dad's beard dye. Is that true?
No, I'm the one who told him to use Just for Men.
Use code ESDEN10 for 10% off with Just for Men.
Look at that.
Was that a nice piece of steak there?
Oh, yeah. Look at that. Beautiful.
How do you like your steak, John?
Ed, medium rare.
Medium rare.
That cut of steak is called a flat iron steak, and they're really delicious and flavorful. But if you overcook them, no good. No bueno if you overcook them. If you make them medium or medium well, they're disgusting. But if you cook them and you keep them rare or medium rare, they're delicious.
Well, John, great call. I appreciate you making it, and I love your Jet passion.
So there I am. There I am.
A real life member of the Beatles calling in. That's pretty cool. Hey, I'm gifting a membership right now. If you get it, I'm entering you in our raffle. Again, Tuesday's the weekly raffle where we're giving away a signed Darrell Revis football, a signed Wayne Corbett jersey, and a signed LaDainian Tomlinson photo. However, end of this stream you're watching live, we're also going to give away an additional Wayne Corbett jersey. Shout out to everyone still tuned into a post-game show about a 3-11 football team. You guys are the greatest. I gifted a membership officially. It went to listener David Mincer. So, David, you are in the raffle now with one entry. All right, let's get the more of your calls. This guy has not called in like an eternity. Jake Klein is next. Hello, Jake.
Jake, long time, man. How you doing?
I'm good, man, as well as I can be, given the state of our football team. What's going on?
I haven't seen you at, was it AW? You've been there a while?
No, I have not been. I'll definitely be back, probably closer to the Nick playoff run, I'm sure.
Well, not for the college football playoffs. I mean, everybody's been coming there for the Georgia games, at least. I don't know if you've been there for a bit. Have you been to a Georgia game before? Have you done that before?
No, I have not.
It's chaos. Like, it's literally like you'll probably like fall down on the ground. It's a lot of fun, to be honest. Like the next game, but just point it out to you.
Cool. Well, what do you got for us, man?
Yeah. So, look, I believe that right now we're in the situation of the Jets really don't have the right coach. I believe you. I just don't believe that Glenn is going to get he's going to get the next year, but I just think right now we don't have the right situation to go into 2026 with drafting whatever quarterback it is. And just Fernando, I think is going to go number one. What I mean is going number one to the Raiders. I just think the Raiders are going to get the number one pick. But the fact is that I just don't see a situation where we're going to be in that position to get the next quarterback. And it probably could be Ty Simpson, but I would actually trade back. I would trade back and actually get more picks because I think 2027, we're going to have the right coach in 2027. And I'd rather have an offensive-minded coach. I mean, I don't know how you feel about that.
Well, I just don't think that they're going to just fully wait till 2027 to address quarterback, right? Whether it's Simpson or Moore, if they can't get Mendoza, I still think they're going to end up with one of these quarterbacks. Someone will emerge as another first-round guy. I mean, Dante Moore right now in every mock draft is going either one or two. So I think he will probably end up being the consensus second best QB option. And it wouldn't surprise me at all if he's a Jet.
I think it's predicated based on how the tournament goes, because if he actually goes far, he'll go into the draft. If he loses early, he'll probably go back and take the Phil Knight money in Oregon. That's
maybe, but if he comes out now and he's a top 5 pick and he can get $50 million guaranteed, I don't care how much money they offer him for a year, he probably will declare.
You're not wrong. I think that right now, because next year is going to be a much more juicier quarterback class. There's many, many more people next year. You're probably right. I just think that right now, I wouldn't bet the farm to believe we should trade all our picks to move up if we go to 6 or 7. I mean, thank God we lost today, so we're probably in that pick 5 or 6 range.
It's going to depend on the outcome of some of these games going on right now. Like the Saints are in action right now. The Titans are playing right now. They're probably not going to win. But I mean, going into the 4 o'clocks, the Jets were at pick 5, but it's going to change. And again, the Jets, it behooves them to lose these last 3 and hope that the Raiders can win a game. They play the Giants. That might be our last chance. We need the Raiders to beat the Giants.
Well, the Giants right now have 2 wins. Is that correct?
Yep.
Okay. So they're probably a top 2-3 pick. I mean, I'm not in a position to want to trade picks next year. I want to keep all the picks next year because there's so much more talent next year that I don't want to give away at this point. I know we have the extra second for the Dallas pick this year, which we could, flaunt around with, but I just want to hang on to picks next year because in case, are you
talking about the 27 first rounders? You're talking about the 2026 pick from the Colts.
I'm sorry, say it again.
Well, you said you don't want to trade next year's picks, but are you referring to the extra first rounder they have this year from the Colts trade?
I don't want to give away the first rounders next year. There's so much more value to that next year because because right now we know about Daniel Jones, who has the torn Achilles. He's the Colts are probably going to be bottom feeders next year unless they,
Well, I'm talking about so I think we're confusing the draft pick conversation, right? So the Jets, they have 2 first rounders in 2026. I'm willing to use that Colts pick wherever it ends up, right? Because I think the Colts are going to miss the playoffs.
Yes.
And that pick will be in the top 18. I'm willing to use that and our own first round pick to try and get up and get a quarterback if they believe in one of these guys. I'm with you as far as trying to protect the 3 first rounders they own in 2027, which would be the better of the Dallas/Green Bay first rounder and obviously the first round pick from Indy.
Yes, no, I agree with you. I mean, the fact is that like this pick this year, the first round pick will probably be higher. They're saying that I think if the Colts lose out, it'll be like 13 or 12, whatever the case may be. Like, yes, you're not wrong. Like we probably could trade up and get Fernando, but the fact is that I just don't think if the Raiders are number one, it's going to be enough. I think they're going to ask for more. They're not.
And they might say no. And at that point, the Jets then have to evaluate, okay, how do we feel about Dante Moore, Ty Simpson, Jaden Mayava, Darian Mensah if he comes out? Like that's what we're going to be debating. If they can't get to number one, if the Raiders say, screw you guys, I don't care how many picks you offer us. We like Fernando Mendoza. We're taking him.
Yeah, I think if we're stuck with stuck with Ty Simpson, I think Ty Simpson, listen, I watched that game when he slid in the third quarter on a third down play and didn't take the sack. He's off my board. I think he doesn't want to take the hit. I think he is not a quality quarterback. I think he's going to go to some team that's desperate, like the Browns or maybe even like the Vikings. Like right now, they know JJ McCarthy is not the guy. They'll trade up and get desperate. I would rather trade that pick if we're at like 4 or 5 or we're not getting Fernando and trade that pick and get a king's ransom and go into whatever the extra first round this year or next or the second round.
Yeah, but who's giving you a king's ransom for pick 4?
Well, I'm just saying that people are going to get desperate because let's think about the Browns for a second. Like Kevin Stefanski wants to keep his job, who I would love to have him as a head coach at some point. They need a quarterback because right now they're screwed because they're stuck with the money for Deshaun Watson. And they're kind of like the Broncos where they have to pay a lot of money to somebody and they have to draft a quarterback to know they can justify keeping the job.
Right. But look, the Browns right now are in front of the Jets. So how would the Jets essentially get a king's ransom from Cleveland?
Okay, fine. You're right. I mean, maybe it's not a king's ransom, but at least getting like maybe an extra second round pick or so from it.
How are they getting anything from Cleveland if the Browns lose out and they finish in front of the Jets?
Well, I'm saying if the Jets win a game, that may change the story. Let's say they beat.
The Browns win a game because if the Jets lose out, they should.
No. I'm saying if Cleveland loses out, and let's say we win a game again. Let's say we beat New Orleans and we have a 4-win situation, and let's say Arizona keeps losing. If we're just going on the scale here, we're probably a 3 pick difference. We'll get probably maybe an extra second round pick out of it and maybe a pick the following year. It's possible.
Yeah, but I'm not understanding like why in this scenario you're talking about the Jets getting picks, right? So
yes,
if they're picking behind these teams, those teams don't need to give the Jets extra picks. They're already in front of the Jets.
Yes. All right, fine. If you're looking at that justification, yes.
But then I'm not looking at any those are your words. You're talking about getting a king's ransom from teams that are already picking.
You know what, Jake? I'm sorry. You know what? Let me start over again. I'm talking about like teams like the Rams. Like I think the Rams, if they're not going to get like Joe Burrow, we talked about the Joe Burrow rumors. The Rams are probably going to trade up and get a quarterback at some point possibly this year because let's say Stafford wants to retire, which is very possible. They could win the Super Bowl and retire. They want to probably trade up and get that quarterback if they have a possibility of doing that. I mean, we know what McVay can do.
I don't really care about like that.
Not about caring. I mean, I'm just telling you, like McVay likes a quarterback, he'll probably do it.
And if McVay wants one of these quarterbacks, that to me is more conviction that we should like one of them too and probably take them.
Well, we can say that, but we can't groom it. He can. That's the difference.
You can't
groom a quarterback.
Again, just say you don't like any of these quarterbacks. We don't need to come up with any. That's all you need to say. We don't need to come up with all these scenarios on like what they could like. I guarantee you, if the Jets don't like any of these quarterbacks, they won't force feed the pick early. Maybe they'll take someone in the second round with their 2-2s. Maybe they would potentially move out of the top 5 if there's a team that wants to come up for Ty Simpson or if Moore starts to slide. Who knows? There's so much of an unknown right now. There could be a quarterback that goes in the first round. We're not even discussing right now. Jackson Dart wasn't a first-round guy a year ago at this time. He wasn't. Like, this happens all the time. There's a guy who might end up going in round 1 that we're not even talking about. JM says, how is this team picking 5th with how bad they are? Their league has so many shitty teams. Isn't that amazing, right? As bad as the Jets have been, they never get the first pick. And they're not even in all likelihood going to get a top 2 pick this year. Makes me sick. Literally, I've been sick for a week. It's been brutal. Like, think about it. The Jets, as bad as they are, they've had the first pick in the draft 2 times since 1996. They had it in 96 and 97. It's unbelievable. Hopefully the Jets lose out and they stay as high up as possible, because it makes it easier to potentially get up to the top of the draft. Like right now, you can make a trade with the Giants to get the number 1 pick. If the Raiders are there, they might say, thanks, but no thanks. You could offer us a bunch of picks, but guess what? We're not going to take them because we're going to take a quarterback. We need a quarterback. We think Fernando Mendoza is a franchise guy. We're taking him. And then you're shit out of luck. So consider that as well. 13-9, Colts leading the Seahawks right now. We need a Sam Darnold comeback for the Jets. Old man Phillip Rivers leading the Colts today. Hard to believe. More calls. But first, a super chat. Mike Perez says he doesn't want Steve Wilkes on his Amtrak. Thank you. Jay Graves is up next. Hello, Jay Graves.
Hello, everyone. What's up, Jake?
What's up, Jay Graves? Long time no talk.
Yeah, I haven't had much to say, and this game made me say a lot less. Like, I was getting up on Glenn, and now, I don't know, we push it again. The defense, I've been out on Wilkes. I did not like Wilkes from day one, because when we got Saleh, he left a good defense in San Francisco. Wilkes ruined that defense in 1 season. So what do we think was going to happen? And then my other thing I wanted to say was your away game for next year, our away meetup, LA Chargers. Come on. It has to be the LA game. We got Rick Kent. We got Addy. It's going to be LA.
I like LA. It depends when that game falls. They also go to Nashville next year, so I'd love to do Jets-Titans, a winnable game for the Jets. If it's early in the year like it was 2 years ago, that'd be tremendous. So it's going to depend on the schedule. They play the Bears in Chicago too. I'd love the broadcast from B Static. But if that game's in December, no way. If that game's in September or early October, then it's doable. So it's going to depend on the schedule and the dates.
I know we've been talking Chicago, but come on, like LA people, Chicago.
I've never been to Chicago though, so I'm selfish. I want to go to Chicago and go to a game at that stadium before they tear it down.
Oh, are they? Oh, I didn't even know that. That's
We're getting a new stadium, I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Oh, right. I didn't hear that. So, sorry, it's been a long day. Did just make my brain not work. But no, in all seriousness, I was getting high on the Jets. We were seeing good things, and then like the last 2 weeks, what are we doing? Like, what are we doing? I turned the game off before even halftime and put on NFL Network with all the game day to watch all the highlights. Like, it wasn't even fun to watch. We had 3 weeks of fun to watch football, and now we're back to who gives a shit, and it's awful. I hate it.
3 games left. Team. That's it.
That's it. But I am looking forward to draft weekend. Hopefully, we will all be out there in Pittsburgh. It'll be fun. We got a lot of draft picks. Make something fun of this team if we can, because there's not much to make fun with. So
it's a hard life we live, Jay Graves. But I'm glad you called in. We've missed your presence on the show.
I have missed you guys too. Like I said, I call in when I have something to say, and I don't have anything to say. But goddamn, this team makes me sad.
They stink, but we're all in this together somehow.
All right, Jake. Good to talk to you. Miss you. See
You too,
soon.
Jay Graves. Keep killing it.
Jets, Jets.
We're all in this together, even though the Jets stink. They're brutal. They are brutal. All right, here's what we're going to do. Short clip and then home stretch of your calls. I'm counting raffle names. We still got some callers who wanted it on the post game. We're giving away a signed Wayne Corbett jersey, so make sure you enter if you haven't already. We'll be right back right after this.
Fuck you, Dave Berger.
Whoa! Anyway, about little Chucky,
I know the guy has problems, okay? You know, he needs to check up on his language, number one. He can apologize all he wants, okay? My apology is this, Gorman. Get a job.
Fuck you, Dave Brigger.
You know, I've been a Jets fan all my life, and I put up through good times and, a few good times and a lot of bad times. So I really don't appreciate guys that just pick up and leave and become Colts fans, who, by the way, were our opponents in Super Bowl III that we beat.
Fuck you, Dave Brigger.
You know what? He's got to grow up. There's a point in time in a man's life he's got to grow up and use the proper language, okay? So don't speak to me in that manner. That doesn't bother me as much as you being jobless and being a fraud fan and trying to come back and being a Colts fan.
Fuck you, Dave Brigger. I could care less what Dave Brigger said. He's done nothing but say negative comments about me for months. He's been bitching, complaining about me not having a job. So I don't need this bullshit right now.
Why did you block the big fella?
That's between him and me.
Hold on a second. When you got catfished live on the air in Asmaniac Madness,
I know what he did.
He spent $200 of that $800 that we gave you. Unblock him immediately. That's ridiculous. He had your back at your lowest moment in the show.
But there's another part of him that I don't like.
Oh, he left. He just left. You're a coward, Gorman. How dare you?
Hello? People want me to pack my bags and leave. Well, I'm sorry. This is America, and I'm staying right here. I pledge allegiance to the flag. You damn right.
What don't you like about me?
I'd rather not discuss this in the public. I'd rather us discuss it on Discord.
I bust balls and stuff like that, but I've always tried to help you, no matter what.
I appreciate that. It's not because I don't like you.
I'm a big boy. I can take it. So
Gator says that you're a douche-faced, chicken soup eating, jobless trader with a bad haircut. Now, this would be an example of Gator trolling you because he's just messing with you. Don't take this seriously.
We all joke around in this thing, and I've always tried to help you, and I'm trying to help you now.
Unblock him, Charles.
I'll do it right now.
He has subscribed and unsubscribed to my channel like 4 times in the last 2 months.
Wow.
I'll get an alert, I'll see the name, new subscriber. Oh, Charles Gorman. That's interesting. I thought me and Charles were friends. Oh.
I gotta do some soul searching. One of the people said I need to do some soul searching.
J-O-B, job.
Ladies and gentlemen, more programming now, shall we? A lot of you still want in on the conversation, which I'm certainly grateful for. J-Boy with a super chat says Aaron Glenn makes Adam Gase look like a god. Ugh. Man, Adam Gase won 7 games his first year with a terrible roster. Think about that. Oh, it's brutal. More of your calls right now. Who's ready for the debut of a brand new intro? His brother already called in. Ladies and gentlemen, James B.
James B's related to Mad Max. He's in his 30s and mellow, drinking decaf, likes bagels. I'm Jake Asman. If James B looks oddly familiar, he might be starring on Netflix as a serial killer. He hasn't been seen using Adderall.
Oh my. I'm not muted. I'm just speechless, Jake. I don't know what to think of that intro, but you know what? I'm overwhelmed with joy. I'm truly jovial because I don't deserve an intro, and yet you've given it to me. So, or Gator maybe. I don't know. I don't know whose decision it was, but I'm very
all
thankful.
Gator. You've earned it, James. You've earned it.
That's crazy. Oh man, this is one of the proudest days of my life. My wife can't hear me, but getting married was probably my proudest day. No, I saw a lot of good things today. Not from the Jets, but Phillip Rivers got a touchdown. Did you see that, Jake?
Oh, we saw it. It's a great story. I just, unfortunately, as a Jet fan, we got to root from the lose. It helps the Jets.
Yeah, I know. It is. I'm conflicted because Phillip Rivers, you want to see him do well, but like you said, it does help us if he doesn't. In all honesty, I didn't hear the first half because I'm with family right now. I didn't see the first half of your show, but I think our quarterback bar is probably very low, and this is why I feel this way. But Brady Cook did make a lot of easy throws, like the short and then some mids. I saw some good things. Obviously, the picks are tough, but from all the quarterbacks we've had, I feel like he's fairly serviceable compared to all the ones of recent memory. I don't know if you agree or not. That performance wasn't dreadfully terrible.
Yeah, I don't think Brady Cook was horrific. He played better than probably a lot of UDFAs have played in their first full start. He wasn't good. The interceptions he threw, 2 of them were bad. One of them at the end, Arian Smith's got to fight for the ball there. But Yeah, I
Correct.
mean, look, I think he played well enough where you could start him the next 3 games and just get through the year, and you don't have to go back to Tyrod or Fields and risk them having this great game, which we've seen them in their careers they're capable of, and winning a game that you shouldn't win because it's going to hurt your draft picks. Like, I think you could get by with Brady Cook now for 3 more games.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised if he has a really good game somewhere down the line. Because like I said, I think he did a lot of the easy stuff right, and that's something we haven't seen. You know, like man, I feel like I was happy that we got to see that, but then I watched the Rams game and I'm seeing Stafford throw these 40-yard dimes. I'm just like, oh my gosh, our bar is low for quarterback play. Yeah, thank you for your call, or thank you for picking up. I did start Brady Cook over Josh Allen this week, and for the first half it was a good decision. Not so much for the second half, but anyway, thank you for picking up, Jake. Have a good night.
James, congrats to you on your new intro, and keep calling, man. We need you.
If James B's related to Mad Max, he's in his 30s and mellow, drinking decaf, likes bagels. I'm Jake Asman. If James B looks oddly familiar, he might be starring on Netflix as a serial killer. He hasn't been seen using Adderall.
Shout out to Gator for coming through with that, man. Unreal. At Mo KWLS1 says, how do I buy a membership? If you're on your computer, right, laptop, desktop, etc., hit the money sign where you normally would send in a super chat, and you hit the button that says gift a membership. If you're not on your computer, you can only super chat. It will not let you gift if you're on your iPhone. More calls. We have Ron, who's up next on the show on our post game here. What's up, Ron?
Hey, Jake, how you doing? A
Hey, Ron,
long-time
how are you?
listener. I'm sorry, I'm just getting home. Long-time listener. I just have a few things to say. We seem to be all over Steve Wilkes, with everything. I think he's terrible. But what Aaron Glenn shows him, and my question is, wasn't he familiar with his type of defense? We keep saying it's outdated. He doesn't blitz enough. He does everything. Everything's kind of, offbeat. And anyway, Aaron Glenn, he hired him. Didn't he do the research and watch his games filmed the last couple of years? And keeps talking about watching film. So anyway, I'm just curious, how do we let him off on that like that? He practices on the same field with them every day. Can he go over there and say, hey, why don't you try doing this or that? And that's on the defense. As far as Dante Moore, he would make me nervous. Like the Zach Wilson thing, another 20-year-old quarterback that hasn't played enough. So I'm hoping that they don't go that route and just start all over again like that. And what are your thoughts on that, Jake?
Yeah, Ron, it's totally fair. I mean, look, Glenn should get a tremendous amount of criticism for Wilkes. I think the process to hire a guy with previous head coaching experience to the staff was a good idea, right? It's just not the right guy. Like, he's been bad. He's been bad in the most recent places he's been. I regret not being more critical of the hire when they made it. I was just dead set on, hey, at least he's been a head coach twice, right? He was the interim and had success, and he was a head coach for a year with the Cardinals. I wanted the experience, but I mean, he's been really bad. So yeah, Glenn definitely should get criticism. One of the things Glenn said after the game today that I thought was just ridiculous was, oh, it's not about the X's and O's. Yeah, it is. Schematically, you're never in the right place. You're routinely outcoached by smarter teams. We see it every week. And yeah, there's a lack of talent for sure, but they're not put in the best position to maximize some of the players they do have. Like, there's no one on this defense other than maybe Briggs that I think you could argue has gotten better or has overachieved what their play level was supposed to be this year. And that's concerning because, again, Aaron Glenn's a defensive guy, and if he's not going to step in and make any changes this year, then why should I have faith that he's going to now hire the right DC if we assume he moves on from Wilkes after the season? So, yeah, I mean, it's all fair criticism.
Yeah. And Jake, anyway, I love your show. I usually drive and laugh the whole time. So anyway, keep up the good work. And I'm up here right now. I'm from Jersey, but I'm in Binghamton area. So you're not missing any of the snow right now. I know you're an Ithaca guy, right?
That's right. I went to school there. Yep.
Yeah. So, well, anyway, love your show. Keep up the good work. Take care.
Well, right. This is your first time call, right?
First time call. Yeah.
Awesome, Ron. Well, I appreciate the kind words. I'm putting you in the raffle for 2, but thanks for calling in and calling more, man. First off, you might be the most handsome guy that calls the post game today. And you had a great call, so I appreciate you tuned in.
All right. Thank you, Jake. You have a good one.
You got it. Ron L checking in from Binghamton. Go Bearcats. This one is from Jay Graves. The non-begging intros are the best. Damn, the Jay Graves was Rob from Glenhead rivalry continues. At HHSND, became a channel member, signed himself up for the raffle for one. Hey, where's Bobby Midnight at, by the way? More calls. Tommy, OG Jet fan, is next. What's up, Tommy?
Jake, what's up, my brother?
What's up, dude?
How are you feeling? Let me ask you a question after this game. Are you happy that we lost? Are you maybe we should have scored a little bit more and didn't get so destroyed, or you content where we're at?
I'm definitely not content. Big picture, I'm glad they lost. It's better for them. But I think a game like this, it's not that it's how you lose that's alarming, right? Like there's when you lose competitively, that's a big difference in how they went out there today and followed up a no-show at home against the Dolphins. And then we had a carbon copy of the same game once again against Jacksonville. It's unacceptable.
Yes, I agree. And that's why anybody, like, I was never into the tanking. And like now, after what happened against Miami, after what happened today against Jacksonville, I don't see any way possibly a Jet fan can root. There's only 3 games left. I can't see how anybody can root for them to win. I can't, because it's not like Aaron Glenn has done so bad, and like this defensive coordinator Steve Wilks better get fired next year, or Aaron Glenn's ass should be on a high. Like, why are you bringing this guy back when your defense was so bad? He runs the same defense every single time. He never changes it up. Just so disgusted with this team. It's like, just loser. Like, I'm never the tanker. I always want the Jets to win. And I'll rock my Jet colors if we're 0-17 or if we're 17-0. I don't care. I'm a Jet fan till life. And real quick, I forgot to mention, Johnny Boy, speedy recovery. I love you, brother. And I didn't know what happened until yesterday. And I wrote him a message on Instagram, but hopefully everything's going well. I know he was on Nick Shine's show last night talking. So Johnny Boy, much love. But these Jets, man, it's so embarrassing. The only thing I was happy about today, Jake, was actually seeing Brady Cook score his first touchdown. A.D. Mitchell was kind of wide open, but he did throw a perfect pass into his hands. And his family was in the crowd, his beautiful fiance, his mom, and his dad. And, you know, they were all hugging. And I was happy for him for that.
And that was a good drive, too. Tanner had some good calls. Cook executed. I mean, look, for UDFA standards, I didn't think Brady Cook was horrific today. Again, the defense doesn't give him a chance, and they got hosed by that punt return not being called a touchdown. It could have been 21-14, getting the ball back. But, you know, the Jet defense was never going to allow Brady Cook to have a chance to win today. They were horrific.
We need big step-ups on our cornerbacks and safeties and linebackers, and we need another rusher. So, like, we need to go, of course, get a quarterback, I would think, number one, right? But the holes we need to plug are obvious. Like, our defense is complete dog shit, and we still need a number 2 wide receiver. So I would say our offense is pretty much set with signing Myers back. If we sign Simpson back or whatever, ABT, let's go to our defense, okay? We got Sherwood and we got Quincy Williams. And Sherwood is the wrong linebacker we should have signed. Completely the wrong linebacker. So I don't know if we can get rid of him or what we could do about that situation, because he can't play middle linebacker. He's an outside linebacker. He was a safety converted to outside.
It's a problem, man. No one's I think they have no leadership on their defense. Guys are never in the right spot. It feels like they're checked out a lot of times. We've seen this defensive performance a lot this year, and the whole selling point on Glenn was, oh, they're playing for him, and we're past those early season struggles, right? No more games like the Cowboy debacle or the Bills game week 2. And let's be real, the last 2 weeks, all this quote-unquote progress that we wanted to try and believe in because we're desperate as fans to find something, that's all out the window. There's been no real progress here. They have 3 wins, and 2 of them are against backup quarterbacks. One's against an aging, out of his prime Kirk Cousins in the rain, where they needed a last-second miracle kick from Nick Folk and a special teams touchdown to win that game. You know, they needed a muffed punt to set up one of their scores. So it's like they're a bad team, man. That's poorly coached. And I'm not seeing a whole lot of young players on this team get better. And on defense, you're seeing no one get better. It sucks.
Jake, my question is, right, like, are the players actually just not good, or are the coaches not putting them in the right situations at their strength of their position? Like,
I think it's both. Yeah. I think it's both, Tommy. Obviously, there's a personnel problem, but I don't think they should be this bad on defense. I'm not buying it.
It's horrible. And Jake, I'll let you get to other callers, man. I'm always going to be a Jet, Jets. Keep doing your thing. Love you, brother. And everyone stay strong out there that's a Jet fan. And happy holidays. If I don't talk to any of y'all, Merry Christmas and happy holidays to everyone. Be safe. Love all your families. And let's go Jets, baby.
Jets, Jets.
Well said, Tommy. Look, the Jets might stink, but the Asmaniac community is the best. Big fella says Quincy and JJ refuse post-game interviews. Well, I saw Quincy had a quote. He's got nothing positive to say, so he's not talking. I didn't see what Jermaine Johnson said. And he's the guy who usually speaks, right? He's a stand-up guy, always takes accountability as a leader. It wouldn't shock me if that locker room is so toxic right now with the divide between the defensive players and Wilkes, if they actually did make a coordinator change, if it's as bad as some of us are speculating on. Like, at this point, I don't think you should fire Wilkes till after the season ends. Like, let's get to the final 3 games here. But it's possible that it's so untenable in that room, for all we know, they would make a change now. Right? I mean, the Jets were in the middle of tanking for Trevor Lawrence in 2020. Gase fired Greg Williams. So we have seen that. Jet fan forever is in the Asmaniac raffle for one. Thank you, Jet fan forever. So, guy Dre Day 25 says they should leave Wilkes and Adams in Jacksonville. I mean, 25, why stop there? They should leave the whole defense in Jacksonville. They're so terrible. It's unacceptable. More of your calls. We have some legends to close this out here. Ladies and gentlemen, sing along.
He thinks that Gorman needs to get a freaking job. This cowboy hates to see Asmaniacs complain. What they call him, one-punch trigger. You need to get a job. What they call him, one-punch trigger. The beast is on his ass. They call him one-punch trigger. Has anyone seen Dean Mack? They call him one-punch trigger. He'll only need one.
Jake, what's happening?
Hello, Dave. Happy Sunday.
It ain't too happy in Mudville.
No.
This team stinks. It's beyond belief. I'll tell you, at this point, it's beyond belief that you could actually put out efforts like this. They have no warm blood on that team. They're not alive. They're dead. The coaching stinks. The players are horrid. I've never seen anything like this. This gets worse by worse each year. And this Glenn, I don't know, man. I know what you keep on saying we're stuck with him. I don't know. No hugs tomorrow for Glenn, man. No hugs for him. He's not getting a hug from me, that's for sure.
Yeah, look, Dave, if I could press a button and we could, start over, I would. I don't think it's realistic. But honestly, if Woody Johnson had the pulse of his franchise, you can't tell me it wouldn't be justified when we've seen some of these performances this year, especially when we were sold on improvement throughout the year, and they have completely regressed back to being a joke these last 2 games. They're not competitive.
What coach makes a statement like it's not about the X's and O's? Like, you have to be kidding me. I mean, this guy's a coach. He lets that defense play like that. You don't intervene in a situation where these guys have no concept of what they're doing. He's a defensive coach. He's like he can't even see it. I mean, is he awake? I mean, is this guy awake? I mean, going forward, how can you have confidence in this man? How can you have confidence in this man? I mean, Muji apparently knows what he's doing. I mean, they have to. I mean, he has to separate himself from this guy. If we're stuck with him next year, and we probably are, I mean, the only thing we have to look forward to is the draft, and we might as well just turn the television off for till 27. We have no prayer. I mean, we have no prayer with this guy. I don't. We have too many Glenn Truthers at this point. I mean, you can't be serious if we're watching this in front of our face. I mean, this man is inept. I mean, even if you don't have the quality talent, you could. I mean, you have to. It's not. They're not competitive. There's no way, shape, or form that this team is competitive. How is that possible? How? I just don't understand it. They show no effort. I mean, and this Sherwood, please, somebody call Robert Saleh up and get him to San Francisco. Whatever you have to do, get him out of here. I mean, I can't stand watching that guy play. And Quincy Williams, him too. The both of them, they're not linebackers. They're not. What are they? I mean, I don't. I just don't get it. I can't watch it. I can't watch this team play defense. They don't know how to play defense. They just don't know. It's unbelievable. This is supposed to be professional football, and we're stuck with these idiots. I don't know, Jake. It's very sad. It's very sad. Very
It's well
sad.
said, Dave. Yeah, I mean, look, the coaching on this team is an abomination besides the special teams coordinator. And the OC's been okay at times. His hands are tied with the quarterback situation, but we have a running back coaching our quarterback. That makes no sense. The defensive staff is a joke. Glenn, most of the year, has looked in over his head. Him trying to say it's not about X's and O's. That's the whole problem. In modern football, 2025, it is all about X's and O's. It's about strategizing, putting your team in the right position, being game plan specific. They do the same thing every week on defense, and they get schooled by better coaches every week.
When this team breaks up for the season and Woody Johnson gets together, when the final meetings are made, if he can't see what's going on here and there's no revisions and we're drafting a quarterback and you keep the current quarterback coach as a former running back coach in place, and they put this new quarterback in, whoever he may be, in with this man. I mean, where are we going? Zach Wilson, number 2? I mean, I have no confidence. I have no confidence. That's my own opinion after watching. Hey, our eyes are not deceiving us, okay? What we see is what we get. He is inept. Well, unfortunately, that's all we have to say to this evening. And guys, it's a tough goal for us longtime fans and even the short-time fans. So I guess all we could do is hang in there. That's all. Another sad week and a sad chapter of the 2025 season.
Yeah, well, the good news is, Dave, only 3 games left, so we only got to suffer through 3 more of these.
You don't have to worry about tanking. They're so bad, they don't have to tank.
Let's hope. Let's hope. If there's a way for the Jets to screw themselves, watch them.
Oh,
win
yeah. I
next
mean,
week.
that's with this team. The ineptness provides just surprises. So let's just see what goes. All right, gentlemen. God bless everyone. Take care.
Hey, Dave, before you go, Sir Luca wants to know, are you about to have dinner with the Grim Reaper?
No, I'm just sitting here, man. It's so cold. I was supposed services got canceled today because of cold. I was just trying to stay warm. I'm watching this Broncos game, and I had to call in while I was just lying down here. So it's just in a dark room. That's all. No Grim Reaper. It's wintertime and it's cold. I can't wait after Christmas. I'll be in Florida for a month, so I'm just looking forward to that. I'm getting too long in the tooth for this cold stuff.
We love Dave in Florida. You're always at your best there, Dave. I'm excited for you.
Yeah, well, maybe. Hey, the last time we had a good time was down there in Tampa. It's the last time we had any hope.
That's right.
Until the famous dance that we saw. Then it all went downhill from there.
All the love, Dave. Hang in there.
All right. Thank you, Jake. Take care, everyone.
He thinks that Gary needs more shots upside his head. This cowboy hates when you don't believe in achievement. Well, they call him One Punch Brigger. The moon landing was free. They call him One Punch Brigger. His claim is not too dirty. One Punch Brigger. Hated jumps his life in ass. One Punch Brigger. Does it only need done?
Home stretch here. Jeffrey is the 10th person to be gifting a membership during the show today, or a 10th total membership. So, look, we're light on memberships. If you've never won a raffle, great day to try and win a signed Wayne Corbett jersey for your Jet Man Cave coming up here at the end of the show. This super chat here is from Hysteric, who's a Jags fan, who says, my best friend's a Jets fan, and it hurts to see him cry. Anyways, Duval, 10-4. Love you, Jake. Hey, congrats on your win, if we're going to call today's game. I mean, I think most Jet fans weren't even rooting for a win, but, man, we thought it'd be a little competitive. Not quite. Not quite. Hey, good luck to the Jags, man. We hope you guys win the division. It helps the Jets. We need the Colts to miss the playoffs. The Blunt Father is in the raffle for one. That must be a real name, government name, obviously. Black Gypsy in the house. He's in the Asmaniac raffle for one. Jeffrey Serena has gifted a second membership. Thank you, Jeffrey. Appreciate your support. You guys mean the world, because views are down for every Jet podcast on YouTube or Apple, Spotify. I mean, only the diehards are tuning into these shows, which means my bottom line is much like the Jet season. Wow. Brutal. More of your calls. Ladies and gentlemen, let's say hello to a man they call Charles Eugene M. Gorman.
Hey, Charles! You'll never get my chicken soup recipe. Hey, Charles! I'm not saying that Lowski takes steroids. Please, some of it. Hey, Charles! Who is that lovely lady? Send it this way, Charles!
Hey, Jake, how are you?
Hey, Charles, how are you?
Good, man. I know the Jets lost today. They suck. What else is new? Look, this team is not well coached. They have been poorly coached for the most part, except on the special teams unit. Oh, and I heard Rebecca said she wanted to marry a guy like me. Well, Rebecca, I would love for you to deflower me. So, yeah.
Whoa. Keep it in your pants, Gorman. This is a family show.
I was told to say it, so.
I don't care who told you to say it. If I told you to jump off a bridge, would you do it?
No.
So have some damn respect for this show.
Yes, I would love to.
On behalf of the Jake Asman Show, we apologize for the foul language.
You are a sick bastard, Gorman. Sick.
We're all sick once in
Calm
a
your
while.
freaky down.
Calm your freaky down. Calm your freaky down.
Oh, someone told me to say it, so I have to say it. Oh, I'm Charles Gorman.
But, yeah. I'm an idiot, but at least I'm proud to be an idiot, so what else is new?
Calm your freaky down.
But that's all I got to say, really. I mean, it was an embarrassment. I mean, what else can I tell you? I didn't really watch the game because I was with a friend. I was at the Woodbridge Center Mall. There was a comic book convention there.
You didn't
So,
watch
yeah.
the game? This is a brutal call. You didn't watch the game?
I checked the box score. I did watch it on check it out on ESPN, see how they were doing, and
You didn't watch the game?
I was with a friend, Jake.
And?
We were at a Woodbridge Center Mall at a comic book convention.
So you chose a comic book convention over your football team? What type of fan are you?
Apparently not a good one.
Well, that is obvious at this point. My God.
I wanted to spend time with a friend, Jake. Is that something wrong?
Yes. Spend time with a friend watching the game.
I was checking out what was going on with the game on my ESPN app.
That's wonderful. Now, was this friend of yours a woman? Was she going to make sweet and passionate love to you?
His name was Preston, and he's been my best friend for a while.
So you hung out with a dude all day instead of watching your team? What are we doing?
What am I doing? I don't know, Jake.
Charles, you have a lot of explaining to do.
I don't have to explain anything. Besides, I knew the Jets
Not
were
to
going to
me,
lose.
to this guy.
Right now, we're getting some gabagool. If you really want some gabagool, you got to come get the gabagool. Catch you later.
I don't know you shit bees. I don't know what the hell you're going to do with that.
You know what this means? Shame.
Beast, I could care less what you think.
Game.
So, hi.
Good. What a lousy loser he turned out to be. Pathetic. I've seen crybabies no worse than what I just saw. Gorman, you've lost every bit of my respect. You clown sucking douchebag. You got no say, no heart, no balls, no integrity. You're weak.
Breaker 666. He's the man who would kick your ass. And then he's gabagoo.
Unbelievable. What a turn of events. Hysteric says, come to a Jags game. I got a jersey for you. I will not ever wear a Jaguars jersey, Hysteric. I am a Jet fan. Now, I will go to a Jets-Jags game in Jacksonville one day if it matters. But I will not be going to a Jags game wearing Jaguars gear. Now, I'll be rooting for the Jags if it helps the Jets, a la when they play the Colts. Man, what a sequence of events. Gorman coming on, talking about getting deflowered, and then going to like a comic book convention with his gay lover over watching the Jets today. Look, not that there's anything wrong with that, but what a shocking turn of events. Unbelievable. Lou B, only Sunday I would miss a Jets game is my funeral. Man. What a turn of events. Sir Lucas says, does Preston dress up like a comic book chick? Good question. Gorman, please let us know. Man. All right, we're counting the raffle entries here. God. This has been some post-game show, man. Is old man Phillip Rivers going to pull this off for the Colts, by the way? 8 minutes left. We're up 13-12 right now. Last chance to get in here, but you know what? We have our final caller. He was just on. He has called back. Maybe we get some clarity on what the heck is going on, because I for the life of me, I don't know how to explain what's happening with this man. My goodness.
Hi, I'm Charles, and I'm going to talk about Spider-Man and movies and sports and video games and maybe hot chicks. First and foremost, we planned it throughout this week to go there. Number two, he's not gay. We're not gay. Preston and I.
Slow down. Let's start from the top. So
Preston texted me earlier this past week that there was a comic book convention at Woodward Center Mall today.
Okay. So
and we went there.
And Preston is your friend.
He did not dress up like a chick. He's not a cross-dresser.
Calm down. Calm down. I'm going to ask you some questions here and get the answers.
I'm going to tell it straight right now.
No. You can't set it straight when you're just spouting off a bunch of answers here. Let me ask you the potent questions people want to know. All right. And then you can answer them so we can provide clarity and not skip any stones here. All right. Leave no stone unturned. You ready?
Yes.
Is Preston your friend or gay lover?
He's my best friend, not gay lover.
Okay, so you went to a comic book convention with Preston, who's your friend and not gay lover.
Yes.
Okay. And who paid for who?
We paid her for our own shit.
Okay, so you both paid. Good. Follow up. You had these plans for how long?
These past few days. Why?
Because you know the Jets play Sunday at 1 o'clock.
I know that. And I wanted to spend time with a friend rather than go through headaches and shit. Listen, I know Beast has been giving me shit these past several months, and honestly, I don't care.
It sounds like you care, though.
Whatever, Jake.
I'm just asking. It sounds like you care.
I said, I know he's been giving me shit for the past several plus months, and honestly, I don't really care.
Well, you just said you want to fight, asshole.
I don't want to fight, period. I don't know why he's getting all feisty.
All right, now let me follow up on a question here from the audience. Dave Brigham wants to know, did you and Preston share any fondue?
No, Mr. Burger, we didn't share any food.
Okay, so you went to the comic book convention. You each paid separately. And how long was this comic book convention?
We stayed there for about 2 hours, and then we left.
Okay, and what time did it start?
It started before we got there. So they've been there for past several hours. We went there from like 1 to 3.
Okay, so 1 to 3. And then while you were there, was there food there?
Yeah, we went to the restaurant and stuff. I went to Sabaro's.
And who paid for who?
I paid for my stuff.
And what about Preston?
He ate over before.
Okay, so nobody paid for anyone. This wasn't a true date.
No, this was not.
Hysteric says, I took my best friend to a Jets game. Chuck is weird.
Whatever.
So to be clear, this is just a friendly gathering here. This wasn't a
It was a
romantic
best
encounter.
friend thing, plus his best friend, his other good friend, Nico, was there.
All right, now can we talk about the fact that you voluntarily ate Sabaros?
Yeah, what's wrong? You don't like him?
You're in New Jersey. You're in a great state for pizza, and you chose Sabaros?
It was one of the closest restaurants near me, so I went there.
You couldn't have picked anything else at a mall?
Wanted some meatballs.
From Sabaros?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
Yes, Jake, I'm serious.
You chose Sabaros voluntary? Come on.
I've eaten there before. It's not too bad.
I mean, if there's no other option, sure, you had other options. And for the meatballs?
I like their meatballs, yes.
So let me get this straight. You went to a comic book convention with your gay lover and ate Sabaros?
He's not my gay lover. I said best friend.
Okay, sorry. So you went to a comic book convention with your best friend, right? And ate Sabaros?
Yes. I ate at Sabaros before I went to the convention.
Okay.
I was waiting at Sabaro, waiting for him to show up.
And
why are you assuming Preston's my gay lover? What possessed you to think of that?
what, your own wording. We were very confused. The chat was onto it.
Because the chat, you don't think the chat could be full of idiots?
They might be. That's why we brought you back on to vet this thing.
First of all, and even if he was my gay lover, why is that a freaking problem?
There's not. It's just, it would be surprising because you started your call trying to pursue Rebecca in the chat.
I was called by Nick Shine to let me know that she said I would marry a guy like Charles.
Okay, so Nick Shine told you that. Why did you need to come on this call and start it the way you did?
Because he wanted me to. He said I wanted you to. I wanted you to.
If Nick Shine told you to jump off a bridge or to stick meatballs up your ass, would you do it?
No, but he wanted me to call in the show regardless.
Well, I'm glad you called into the show, but you didn't watch the Jets today. So what exactly is the purpose of calling in?
I checked the box score.
And?
That's all that matters to me.
No, the box score could lie. There's no context. There's no feel for the box score. Every game has a heartbeat.
It's not the first time I didn't watch a Jet game, but still.
Well, it sounds like to me that, according to New Q here, you hung out with a dude and ate balls over watching your football team. Also, if the chat is comprised of idiots, why do you read the chat? Good point by JD.
Sometimes I read them, sometimes you show them to me.
Now, what comic books did you get today?
I didn't get any comic book. I got they had a bunch of stuff there too. I got a mattress.
What is that? Is that a poster?
It's a mat.
Does like a doormat?
Something like that, yes.
Okay, so why did you say a mattress?
A doormat, my apologies. I also got a poster for him.
Good question from the chat. Chris wants to know, does Preston lay on that mat?
No, he does not. Stop it.
You don't have to get so mad. You can just clarify for the chat. That's all.
I don't have to clarify shit.
You don't, but you called in.
Because you guys were insinuating stuff about me, and I had to defend myself.
Well, you didn't have to call in. You could just deny. Don't ask, don't tell.
And then people would still make rumors about me. So what else do? It's a lose-lose situation, I guess.
I don't think so. I don't think anyone's going to make any rumors. But you responding aggressively is going to cause people to have some concerns here.
And I got this too.
Superman bobblehead. That's sick.
It's not a bobblehead. It's an action figure. Kingdom Come. Cost me about $40.
My mistake. You spent $40 on that?
Yeah, guy offered me the 5% off discount, $5 discount.
A $5 discount? That's the best you could get off this guy?
I paid him on Venmo.
Did you think about maybe trying to get a bigger discount than just $5?
No, it was fine. I didn't care. I wanted it.
I feel like you got ripped off.
I didn't get ripped off. It's a great action figure.
How much do those things normally go for?
Depends on the action figure. A lot of them were 40, 45. Some were like 50 or 60.
And you paid 40?
Yes.
So you overpaid?
I didn't overpay.
It sounds like you didn't get a great deal.
I got a great deal, trust me.
Now, the blunt father wants to know, was that a gift from Preston?
No, it was not a gift. I paid it for myself. I wanted it for myself.
Okay, so neither of you bought each other gifts here?
No, we did not.
Okay. Is there any other thing from today's events you'd like to clarify, provide some context on, some nuance to?
Yeah, Rebecca, if you want to talk to me via email. Thank you. Have a great day.
Email? We got to get you to, texting.
Well, she said she would marry a guy like me. That's what I was told.
Well, how do you know you'd marry a woman like her? You're just going to sell your soul for the first woman that shows interest in you, Charles?
No. Well, I did that before, and it was toxic.
Yeah, that wasn't a good idea.
I'm saying if she wants to talk to me in general, period, she can email me.
Now, Rebecca says that she would, but you would have to give up Preston.
Rebecca, we're not gay lovers. Stop it. I'm going to have serious talk with this woman.
Preston or Rebecca? Oh, God. God knows what type of emails Charles is about to send. Oh, my goodness. Thank God for the Gormans, the Beasts, Bobby, Gary's unhingedness. This season's been so bad. Oh, we're almost there, folks.
Time to lose some games, bitches. You guys should be pros at this. They don't give out trophies for 4 or 5 wins.
3 games to go, baby. Look, the Old Man River story has been fun, but with about 2 minutes and change to go, this is where we need Seattle to get serious and get a stop. Help the Jets get a higher draft pick. Unbelievable. What a show, huh? Unbelievable. Hey, a couple memberships here before we get out of here. Jet fan forever. It's our guy Dre Day. He's in the raffle for another membership. I'm counting the names, so this is truly your last shot at it. JYB is in the raffle for 2. Says, hey, put me in the raffle. JYB, you're in, baby. Who we rooting against? What quarterback we drafted? I'm glad I'm busy with work. I haven't been able to keep up with this team. Well, who we rooting against? I mean, any team in front of the Jets in the draft order we're rooting against. They're not going to gain a ton of ground in the Tankathon standings. Tennessee's not going to win in all likelihood. Now, New Orleans is playing Carolina right now. If the Saints win, that'd be good for the Jets. And plus, with the way Shuck's playing, right, they're winning some games. Maybe they go in the next year with Shuck as their guy. They don't draft the QB. But if you want to know who to root for, JYB, take a look at tankathon.com and root for the teams that are in front of the Jets. Cleveland, Tennessee, Vegas, I think, is the biggest one, right? Because the Jets could get a deal done with Tennessee if they're in front of them. They can get a deal done with the Giants. The Raiders might say, I don't care what you offer us pick-wise. We need a quarterback, and we're taking Fernando Mendoza. We're taking Dante, but whoever the Jets ultimately decide is their guy. So I don't know who they're going to be taking because I don't know where the Jets are going to be picking and if they're going to be able to move up depending on the team that's in front of them. So it's tough to answer your full super chat, JYB. Short answer to a very long, complicated set of questions you ask. Stay tuned because it's going to change a lot over the next several months. Hysteric says, I took my best friend to a Jets game. Chuck is weird. Hysteric says, does Preston kneel on the mat? God, I wish Preston and Gorman a lifetime of happiness. Lane says the Jets lost today. Did they? Lane, is this true?
Hey, what's up?
Happy Hanukkah to all those who are celebrating. Boomtown says, Jake, I sent you something. Ladies and gentlemen, I have the official Charles question review that we will quickly put up on the screen here before we get to the raffle. Again, we're giving away a Wayne Corbett jersey signed by the man himself. So you still have a couple minutes left to enter, but the raffle's coming. This is from Boomtown. Charles says, 1, he's not gay. 2, he went to a comic convention. 3, Preston invited him. 4, had plans made for the last few days. 5, did not share any food. 6, Charles paid for his own food. 7, not a date. 8, ate at Sabaros. 9, does what Nick Shine tells him to do without question. 10, bought a Spider-Man mat today. 11, believes a $5 discount is good. 12, if you are romantically interested in Charles, email is the best way to reach him. Ladies and gentlemen, the Charles Gorman date report that wasn't a date, brought to you by Boomtown. Anyway. What a moment. All right. Are we ready for an Asmaniac raffle? Are we ready to spin the Wheel of Champions? Well, before we can spin the Wheel of Champions, let's say hello to our resident ring announcer, Bruce Fluffer.
That's the next Michael Buffer. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the moment we've all waited for, it is time to spin the Wheel of Champions.
It's time to announce the winners of the weekly Asmaniac raffle. Let's spin the Jake Asman Show Wheel of Champions and find out which Asmaniac is winning an epic prize.
Here we go, folks. The Wheel of Champions is on the screen. And one Asmaniac is going to win a signed jersey by Wayne Corbett, Mr. Third Down. If you win, you have to email me, asmanjake@gmail.com. Your name and address so we know where to send it to. Good luck to everyone who entered. Thank you again for still being tuned in and supporting these shows because, God, it has been a brutal year and you guys still make it possible to be a full-time Jet YouTuber. Think about that. That ain't easy. It ain't for the faint of heart. That's what this fan base is all about. All right, here we go. Good luck to everyone. Thanks for being tuned in and supporting. But only one can win, and your winner is please do something. Well, please do something. I'm doing something for you. You are the winner of the raffle. You are the winner of a Wayne Corbett signed jersey. His super chat earlier got him the entries that he won with. Congrats to @please do something. Hit the Jet chant for him, baby. Yeah. You might not trust the current regime to draft a QB, but at least he's going to have a signed Wayne Corbett jersey to display in the man cave. Again, thank you to everyone who tuned in. Post-game show is in the books. We only got 3 of them left. As much as I enjoy doing these at the start of the year and we get excited, this time of year it's quite depressing. So only 3 to go. As we leave here right now, Old Man Rivers is trying to lead the Colts to a game-winning field goal. So we'll see what happens and we'll see where the Jets are picking. We'll update the Tankathon tomorrow morning. Joe Beningo joins us at 10. Thank you all for watching. Please hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. As always, love you. Go Jets. And we'll talk to you soon.
Oh, hi. Jake wants me to ask you to click on the like button.
That's right, Lane. And if they don't subscribe to the Jake Asman Show, this team may never win another game. Let's go Jets.